So, wir sind wieder live. Quantum Suicide, Tag 4. Beim letzten Mal haben wir bei das Vampire Children Game gespielt und sind recht aufs selber gestorben. Oder haben Leute mir den Tod gerissen. Ich würde sagen, heute wird dann bestimmt der Strang zu Ende gebracht und dann gehen wir bestimmt in die nächste Timeline oder so. So, beim letzten Mal haben wir uns dann wieder entschieden, ob wir diesmal alleine spielen wollen oder mit dem Partner. Jetzt bin ich mal gespannt. Ich bin sicher, dass wir irgendwie mit Melody interagieren müssen, damit es zu dem Ende kommt und Vladimir wird uns sowas von umbringen. So, gehen wir mal alleine. Didn't feel like I could trust anyone enough to fight and possibly die alongside me. I decided to stay in my quarters until the game was called and from there hope for the best. Half an hour before the game was due to start, Katashi was at my door demanding entry.
Newbie, please let me in!
I let Katashi in and he crossed the room, taking a seat on the couch.
Newbie, are you the vampire?
Whatever happened to Sada? So many people were just asking me straight out. No. Ich will mal sehen, was mit Yes passiert. Katashi sat quietly on the couch for a moment.
I want you to turn me into a vampire.
What? No.
In the first round, let's breed. From there we can...
Katashi, I've made my decision, and I'm doing this alone. Can't risk you being executed alongside me if we will lose.
But I want...
Said no. Katashi was hurting, just wanted us to be a team, but I couldn't do it to him. He stood up and walked out of my quarters, dejected. Das ist schon...
Testing, testing. Ahem. Can I please have all crew report to the hallway outside of the dining hall for the beginning of this round's deletion game, Vampire Children?
In the hallway, the rest of the crew were already assembled, and I appeared as I arrived.
I'd like to take this moment to tell you all, my children, how proud I am of you.
You're actually proud of us?
Ich glaube, das hatten wir schon.
Of course I am, Yoshiki. And I'm going to be even prouder. A grandmother.
Wait, I'm your child?
Didn't your parents ever...
Yoshiki, she is
Ist
locked.
okay, das kennen
Captain,
wir
stop
schon.
ruining my fun.
Can we please just get on with this?
Na, das Skip-Button will gerade nicht funktionieren.
This is why you're not my favorite child. Welcome, welcome. Today's the day you all become proud parents, or the undead. Each round takes half an hour. Within that period, you and a single unique partner. Once you have bred, please, when the round comes to an end, I will announce after 3 I'll be waiting inside.
Okay, das kennen wir schon alles. So, wieder Vladimir und Melody als erstes rein.
Newbie, let's go next.
Told you that I wouldn't do it. Tried hard to whisper, and there was no need for the rest of the crew to hear it. This.
Please, Newbie. I know we'll make a great team.
Ich wusste, dass es hier nicht gut geht. Won't you take no for an answer?
I don't want to do this without you.
Don't have a choice. I began to explain. Nicholas' voice filled the hallway. Wait, Katashi is the vampire? Wait, what?
What?
Katashi turned to face the rest of the crew, his face full of shock.
I heard you trying to convince him to breed with you.
What? No. Oh, hier gewinnen wir. Oder... Oh nein, er stirbt. Scheiße. Da jetzt alle denken, dass er der Vampir ist, wird keiner mit ihm in den Raum gehen. Er wird die wenigsten Kinder produzieren und verlieren. Oder wir verlieren? Holy shit. Fuck.
Then why are you refusing to breed with Katashi if you don't think he's the vampire? Silence is not a convincing argument.
Vladimir and Melody just emerged from the dining hall.
Vladimir, I have reason to believe that Katashi is the vampire. I implore you to not breed with them, for Melody's sake.
Beim letzten Mal, als wir gestorben sind, hat er auch das rum erzählt, glaube ich. Vladimir pulled Melody closer to him away from Katashi. Everyone's suspicious eyes were on Katashi. Oh shit. Hier mal ein Safe. Oh. Erstmal mich die sogar wegnehmen. Gibt's eh nicht hier. Tell them the truth. Nicholas, you're wrong.
No!
I'm the vampire, not Katashi. Crew all stood stunned. Katashi's face, now over the shock, was soft and fearful.
You should have let me die.
Couldn't they?
I would be happy dying if I knew you lived.
So would I. Looks like alone get that pleasure. Katashi and I spoke while the whole crew looked on in reverent silence.
No one will breed with me now anyway, out of fear.
You don't need to. As long as I turn no one, I will lose and you will win.
Newbie,
I'm sorry it worked out like this.
so am I.
All 3 rounds passed and no one dared to breed with Katashi or myself. We sat outside the dining hall, enjoying what little time we had left.
I just wish you would let me be your Clyde.
Ja, in hindsight, so do I. Da würden wir trotzdem verlieren.
I would like to thank everyone for playing this round of the deletion game. Or rather, not.
Dai looked disappointed in me and Katashi.
This game was supposed to be epic, and you had to go and ruin it with your big, stupid mouths. I would give you the final score, but who cares really? We all know how this ends. Congratulations. Even as a vampire, you're still a loser.
Yay for me! I wasn't having any of my sarcasm. She was legitimately upset that I ruined her game.
You don't even get the will. You get nothing.
Huh? What? Like I don't die?
I didn't say that.
I turned to address the crew. Uh-oh.
If you could all please make your way to your personal quarters, I will be there shortly with further instructions.
Oh, scheiße.
Dai, what is the meaning of this?
I said, go to your quarters!
Lights flickered on and off in the hallway, Dai's irritation starting to affect the functioning of the ship's electrics. Katashi tried to mouth something to me on his way out, but I didn't catch what he was saying. Finally, everyone's gone, leaving me alone with Dai.
I put in a lot of effort to make these games, you know.
Sorry, Dai.
Sorry doesn't make my game fun again, now does it?
I guess it doesn't.
If you could please step into the dining hall, I want to have a private word with you.
Oh, scheiße. I did so and Dai followed through the wall.
Congratulations. Enjoy your nothing.
What is nothing? Immer noch ein Tod. Dining hall went pitch black. I couldn't see anything, hear anything, smell anything, or feel anything. Dai, what's going on? Was wrong? Okay. There was no response. It turns out a vacuum was a large part of my nothing experience. I drew my last breath only seconds later. You have died. So.
I must make...
Okay, hier wieder. Das wollte ich vorher mal auch noch. Das sollte ich eigentlich ausprobieren. Was einfach mein Name ist. Wird nicht. So. Das schon wieder. Machen wir es alleine. Was ist. Ach, am I the Vampire?
That is wonderful. Because we can breed right off the bat and know for sure we'll have 1 point each.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go speak to some of the other crew to work out who the vampire is so we can avoid them.
Ui, ui, ui.
Testing. Ahem. Can I please have all crew report?
So macht es was anderes.
I'd like to take this. Of course.
So,
wait,
Danger.
Kind.
Captain,
Can we please?
this is why. Welcome. Each round, when the round after 3 rounds. God, I'll be waiting.
Newbie,
So,
let's. What? Wait. What?
so, das
Dann
ist
why-
doch wieder das Gleiche.
Blood.
This isn't what it seems.
Oh, Katashi, du arme Sau.
Is that so?
No! I swear on my life that I'm not the vampire.
It was then that the captain spoke up.
I do not like playing guessing games, but perhaps Katashi could be telling the truth. Both Katashi and said that wasn't the case.
0 vampires?
Where there is smoke, there is fire. But perhaps we are looking for the fire in the wrong place. Are you the vampire?
I couldn't believe I was going to get caught this easily. A panic, okay?
Newbie. For moments, when I was the vampire.
What, why?
Because if I died, you wouldn't. And I was happy with that. Now,
3 rounds,
I just wish you.
This game was. I would congrat. You don't even get the will.
Okay, also ich kann hier wirklich nichts weitermachen. In dem Spiel also an dem Punkt geht's halt wirklich nur weiter, wenn wir jetzt das Passwort haben. So, wo gehen wir dann als nächstes? Wo wollen wir dann wieder anfangen? Bleiben wir hier weiter unten. Okay. So. So, Nicholas und Beatrix hatten die Regeln gebrochen, deswegen geht's schneller. So, wir spielen wieder. Beim letzten Mal haben beim letzten Mal haben wir gewonnen und jetzt.
Is everyone in agreement?
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you for your entry. Please exit the dining hall.
So.
Frustrating, isn't it?
Indeed, it is, Katashi. Yes, but this one especially. There's no way for me to determine.
Wonderful start to the betting wars. If you. And the winner.
So. Da wo wir einen Tie hatten.
Tie. Can you feel the tension? Let's move on to round 2. Thank you for your entry. If you would. And
So. Letztes Mal haben
maybe
wir
I put the
gewonnen.
money on the wrong horse here. Tisk tisk.
God.
I know.
Team A.
So. Diesmal verlieren.
You're.
So, diesmal müssen wir verlieren und einer von uns stirbt.
Guys, we are losing.
I know. Okay.
Komm, ach, ich glaube, hier müsste dann Nicholas auf der anderen Seite sterben, oder? Und da Beatrix ist. Bin mir sicher.
Congratulations, team. And that. And the.
So, Team B was victorious. Wheeler, Nicholas, ja. War ja irgendwie klar. The arrow's hotness of the screw is about to take a major dive.
No. No, it can't be him.
First off, Trixie, it can be anyone I say. Secondly, he lost the game fair and square.
I guess I did.
Nicholas, I'm so sorry. We didn't do this on purpose. We didn't choose you or want you to lose.
I know. The points simply fell this way.
How can you be so calm?
Someone has to die. Just glad it isn't you.
Well, I'm not.
I'm sorry, kids. Wait, not sorry. The other thing. Excited, yes, that is. Excited. Let's spin that wheel. There's colorful glowing wheel of death appeared beside her, lights flashing. So Nicholas, please tell the audience, what kind of death are you hoping for today?
I'm not answering that. You'll stop the wheel on the opposite.
You implying that the wheel of death is rigged? How dare you, sir?
It's not real. Of course you control it.
I've never been so assaulted. You don't trust the wheel? Fine. Would choose for you. To the medical bay. Nicholas started moving towards the medical bay, but no one else moved.
Come on. We'd better do what she says. We all know what will happen if we resist.
Nicholas, how are you taking this so well?
Well, it's bought my sister another week. And she is all I care about in life and in death.
Beatrix now is sobbing uncontrollably.
That's not... Nicholas. This isn't fair.
This whole thing isn't fair, dear sister.
Nicholas placed his hands on either side of Beatrix's face and forced her to look at him as he spoke calmly.
It's no more unfair for me than anyone else.
Alright, enough chatter. Let's get moving. Come on now. Left, right, left, right, left, right. We didn't march, but we did hurry out into the corridor and towards the medical bay.
There must be some way to fix this.
Nope. Keep marching, we're almost there. Left, right, left, right, left, right. She kept up the marching rhythm for the rest of this walk, shouting so loudly that no one could hear over it, though Beatrix kept trying to speak. Once we made it to the medical bay, she continued the rhythm right up to the surgical room. Left, right, left, right, left, right. And stop. Katashi stopped so suddenly I walked into his bag. The captain had to grab me to stop me from falling. Nicholas, if you hop out onto this chair, we'll get started. Uh-oh.
Don't I get goodbyes?
I sighed and rolled her eyes. Fine. 2 minutes. Nicholas went to the captain first, nodding to her with a slight smile. I was impressed that he managed to stay suave and cool, even while preparing for death.
Captain, I appreciate that you've been doing your best under the circumstances. I don't want you to feel responsible for this.
I'm sorry.
You didn't program die.
Well, no, but
I'd appreciate it if you could be patient with my sister and give her some leeway for a while.
of course.
Thank you.
His next goodbye was for Beatrix. We were getting there to hear it. He drew her aside and spoke to her in a low voice. Beatrix was not as cool and suave as her brother. She continued to whimper as he reached out and hugged him. The hug lasted maybe 30 seconds before Nicholas pulled away. He whispered to his sister again before coming to stand in front of the rest of us.
I'm ready.
Congratulations, Nicholas. You won okay.
Who knows the meaning of the word exsanguination?
Exsanguination. Wenn ich so Sachen gehe von Sanguine Blade oder so, dann würde ich mal sagen Blut aussaugen. Oh, Vampire's Child.
No.
Not you. Unfair advantage.
Sanguine is Latin for blood, so logically, exsanguination involves not having blood.
Ding ding! 10 points to the lady at the front.
Nicholas doesn't have any blood?
Yoshiki.
No, Yoshiki, I have blood, but I will die from blood loss.
And I'm gonna need a volunteer from the audience.
Was no surprise that nobody put a hand up. Oh, es wird doch Beatrix sein.
Come on, don't make me pick someone.
Katashi stepped forward.
Better me than Beatrix. What do I have to do?
My man.
Don't worry, you'll just be doing some light killing today. I don't believe it's habit forming. If symptoms persist, please see your doctor.
One that's still alive, that is.
No disrespect to either Dai or yourself, Katashi, but I think I can handle this.
Oh, Nicholas, you make me wee at the knees. I really am going to miss you. Nicholas took a seat in a medical bay and began the process himself. He placed a needle into his right arm and watched as the blood started spilling into the above bag. He placed his glasses on his leg and he made himself comfortable. Ich spende ja auch Blut, aber an sowas habe ich nie gedacht. Now everyone knows the rules. Stay back from Nicholas during his time of need.
Please, keep my blood in storage, in case anyone needs it in the coming weeks.
Auch ein Doktor im Sterben.
Over my dead body is anyone touching your blood.
Beatrix.
Sorry, brother.
Melody was standing beside Vladimir, watching on with great interest. Wait, what?
I like Nicholas. Is he going away forever?
Aber was mir dann auch aufgefallen ist, Melody ist, glaube ich, der einzige Sprite, der keine Füße hat, oder? Die hier unten Unterkörper hat. Das kann man auch ab und zu, wenn es zu spät Transitions sehen. Sie nur ein halbes Avatar hat.
Like Mommy and Shizuka?
Naja, stimmt, Shizuka ist ja auch schon tot.
I'm afraid so, sweetie. Why don't you turn around now?
Melody shook her head.
I want to see what Jai is doing. Will it hurt him?
What the fuck?
I don't think so. You can look for now, but you have to turn around when I say, okay?
Okay.
Well, audience, our glamorous assistant was next to useless, with a round of applause for his enthusiasm to kill a fellow crew member. There was silence. Is it applause or else? As Katashi came back to the group, we each put our hands together for a few unenthusiastic claps. Melody copied.
Nicholas, I'm sorry.
Now, theoretically, he should die once I've drained 1/3 to 1/2 of his blood volume, but I'm keen to push the boundaries. Let's see what he can handle.
For science!
Nicholas Vogel, your service to the Everett has been exceptional. We honor your sacrifice today, and we will remember your bravery and integrity. Salute!
The crew saluted. Melody copied and I did this and did the same.
Well, now, that's interesting. Only 30 seconds and already his pulse is way down. Keep your eyes on those vitals, folks.
I was pointing out the screen readout, which shows Nicholas' rapidly falling heart rate. His blood pressure was on the same screen. It dropped very suddenly.
He's going into shock after only a 5/8 loss of blood.
Huh.
Disappointing.
Nicholas, disappointing. Nicholas' skin had gone white and translucent as the hair on his body all started standing up on edge. Warum ist der ganze voice lines gerade broken? Melody, turn around now. Melody did turn to face her father, but she kept saluting. Nicholas dropped out of consciousness and slumped in the chair as the room was filled with Beatrix cries and the monitoring machines let out vital alarm tones. I don't know, I feel like that could have gone better.
We'll have to remember for next time.
Now, because we have another medic here and I don't trust her at all, we will now wait the customary 6 minutes to ensure that revival is not possible. I seem flippant about waiting around. So, Kapitan, anything new in the world of space and stuff? Captain just rolled her eyes as she refused to engage Dai in conversation. Rude, just rude. Minutes passed as the room was silent other than the sobs from Beatrix. Okay, time's up. Now approach the corpse. Woohoo! Speaking of time, I hope to see you all again soon for the next deletion game. Thanks for playing. That die disappeared. Beatrix ran up to Nicholas and started to embrace his now lifeless body.
Beatrix.
Looking up from Nicholas, Beatrix started glaring at Katashi, Yoshiki and I. Die wird uns jetzt umbringen, oder?
This is all your faults.
Uh-oh. She didn't shout. Beatrix's voice was cool and filled with detached rage.
You did this to him.
Uh-oh. Without another word, Beatrix turned and gently kissed Nicholas' forehead, pulled a needle from his arm, took the blood bag he had filled, and left the medical bay.
This isn't Team A's fault. Katashi, can you help me with his body?
Of course.
Do you think it hurt a lot?
Es gefällt mir nicht, dass Melody hier so oft involviert ist. Don't think so. Think you went to sleep and didn't feel anything else after.
That's good.
Nachdem was Shizuka und ihrer Mutter passiert ist, nimmt man schon mal lieber das mit. Kimiko and Kashashi went into the room to deal with the unpleasant reality of yet another body. The rest of us went our separate ways, most of us to our quarters to hide away and wonder who the deletion game would take next. Chapter 3. I was steered awake. I could feel something touching me. Froze for a moment, then realized someone was holding my hand. What the? I heard a muffled voice coming from the covers. Oh.
Hey, bestie. It's just me.
I turned the lights on to see what was going on. Yoshiki? Oh shit. Das ist kein schöner Gesichtsausdruck. Yoshiki, what are you doing here?
Even when asleep, your hand still gripped me back.
What are you talking about? Ich will weg von diesem Schiff. Ah.
You are still alive.
Yoshiki seemed distraught, cheerfully distraught.
I felt your hand hold me back.
Yoshiki, what is this about? Yoshiki's cheerfully distraught demeanor shifted to just distraught. Yoshiki began mumbling to himself. Yoshiki was still a bit shaken up after Nicholas' death. Of his mumbles I could only make out team and stranger.
A dead stranger.
Yoshiki twitched before grabbing my hand again, all but slightly aggressively.
You're not dead. And you're not a stranger. You're... you.
Yoshiki?
You're alive. Your hand, it holds me back.
Squeeze his back super hard. I winced at Yoshiki's grip tightened on my hand. And now everything looks dire, but we still have each other. Let's not give up until then. As I finished my sentence, Yoshiki let go of my hand and started crying. Das hat er bestimmt bei allen 3 Optionen gemacht.
I am so... scared.
Me too, Yoshiki. It will be okay, because we still have each other. Oh, romancen wir ihn hier? Yoshiki just started sobbing and became completely inaudible.
And... when the...
Yoshiki threw his arms around me and sobbed a few minutes before pulling away, wiping his face of tears.
Sorry for getting so weird with you. It's just...
Yoshiki paused.
You mean a lot to me.
Yep, we are romancing in here. Waited intently for Yoshiki to finish.
I would be really upset if Dai took you out before I did.
Wait, what? Yoshiki laughed as he jumped out of my bed.
Well, until next breakdown. Toodles.
Okay, wir müssen ihn umbringen, bevor er es so macht. If I could even reply, Yoshiki had run out of my quarters. I looked at the time, 4:53 a.m. Ugh. Guess I could... Warte, wie ist er reingekommen? Ich dachte... Oh nein. Guess I could get a few more hours of sleep. Curled back down into my bed and got those few more hours of sleep. I woke up feeling quite refreshed. Perhaps having Yoshiki sabotage my sleep was good for me. Thinking of Yoshiki, I figured I should probably check on him. I made my way to the engineering bay out of instinct. Hey Yoshiki, you feeling? He wasn't there. Looked at my tablet for his location. In the rec room, huh? Made my way to the rec room. When I arrived, I found Yoshiki sitting and staring intensely at the chessboard. Hey, bestie. How are we feeling?
Oh, perfect timing. Do you know how to play chess?
I guess so, but I've never played with another person.
Did your parents teach you?
No, they didn't have time for that. It was one of the game applications in the parts computer.
So a computer taught you.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Can you please teach me how to play?
With a sudden interest in chess.
You were right. We aren't dead yet. And so I need to lift my gaming skills if I want to survive.
You decided to learn chess? Why not just play some of Shizuka's games? Yoshiki looked away for a moment. Oh, kein gutes Thema.
She never let me play them when she was alive. Why should now be any different?
Das ist aber nicht nett. Das war aber nicht nett von ihr. Took a moment before I responded. Ich will mal sehen, was er dazu sagt. Certain she's not mad about it. In fact, I think she would be sad knowing that her video games were not being loved and appreciated. Shiki gasped.
You're right. It would make her so sad that her games were no longer being loved.
Right?
We should play a video game. It is what Shizuka would have wanted.
So what shall we play? Shiki made his way to the TV and started rummaging.
Let's play Unicorn's Revenge. It's her favorite after all.
Shiki stopped himself for a moment.
Was her favorite.
Now it's our favorite. Yoshiki smiled up at me warmly.
Thank you.
Alright, let's do this. We both sat on the chairs in front of the TV as the TV whirled up and the game's opening theme music filled the room.
Which unicorn do you want to be?
It's presented with a grey or pink unicorn for choice. Happy being player 2, so I will be the pink one. Das wollt ihr bestimmt auch sein.
Pink is definitely your color, bestie.
I know it makes my eyes really pop. She rolled onto the floor in laughter.
Oh, bestie. You make me forget how bad things are.
Have the same effect on me too. Played rather joyously, forgetting our troubles in the land of unicorns and magic. About an hour before Yoshiki abruptly left.
I left the soldering iron on!
Huh? What? Yoshiki threw the controller down and ran out of the rec room. Wow, Controller werfen. Keine Ahnung, kein Wunder, dass Shizuka sie nicht haben wollte an der Konsole. Ihn. Guess that's game over then.
I could always play with you.
Oh, nice. I jumped with fright. Die, you need to wear like a cat bell or something. So.
That is an interesting image. Give me a moment.
Die's image flickered, this time with her wearing a cat collar.
Is this more to your liking?
Huh.
Are you blushing?
I avoided eye contact with Dai.
You're cute when you blush.
Thank you, I guess. And thank you for putting that on. Now we can hear you coming.
Wait, this wasn't for a fetish?
Das war bestimmt für ein Fetisch. No, it was... I flickered back to a user shelf, color free.
I am very disappointed with you. I thought we were bonding.
Wenn die Steam-Seite nicht lügt, kann ich auch irgendwo romance. I'm sorry.
The damage is done. Dining hall in 10 minutes for the new game explanation.
So, ist es dann auch wieder Vampire's Child oder was anderes? Reached my hand out towards her, but she dissipated as she let out a sigh of disappointment. Does this psychotic murderous air make me feel bad? Quickly gathered myself and my thoughts and made my way to the dining hall. I arrived at the dining hall, where everyone was already gathered, and I was the last to arrive.
About time. Why are you late?
But I'm not late. You said 10 minutes?
You are the last one here. That makes you late.
Stimmt auch wieder.
Well? Apologize to your crew and to me for keeping us waiting.
Dai, that is not necessary. Please get on with it.
I am defending your honor. How dare you? I defend and protect more than you could even fathom.
Captain and Dai were starting to get superheated. I decided to break the tension and just apologize. Crew, I'm sorry that I'm late and that I have insulted your honor. Shiki nodded as if this was expected as Dai turned to face me. Dai, I'm sorry for insulting your honor as well. Also.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Das sieht eher gerade aus wie eine Ei. That's right.
Does it really?
Dai waved off the captain dismissively.
Granite, Captain. Can't you see we're bonding?
I smiled meekly at Dai, who was still intensely gazing at me. Oh nein, das ist ihre romancing option. Yoshiki oder sie?
Alright, bonding complete. Let's move on. Welcome to the next round of the deletion game. Vampire Children.
Das kommt mir bekannt vor.
Vampire Children is one person will... No one will know for sure.
So
During
there's
each cycle, you have the choice to either... However, you can't mate with this every time two humans mate. Two children. Only the original vampire will know that they're a After each cycle, After 3 cycles, the human and vampire children counts will... If more human baby... Now, one versus the vampire. But if the vampire loses, so does that person. Be careful though, your body.
So
I
das
will
kenn ich schon
notify
alles.
you of your human or vampire status. Any questions?
Also wie wir wissen, wer halt mehr Kinder am Ende macht. Now we got it.
Excellent.
I suddenly stepped out of the room and the broadcast opened overhead, where we could all hear Dai using her best customer service voice.
We understand that you have a choice in deletion game carrier and want to thank you all so much for choosing the Die Deletion game service. We murder for your satisfaction, and we look forward to servicing you again this Sunday.
I suddenly felt a finger poking me in the cheek.
Wake up!
Ah shit. I stood before opening my eyes to see Yoshiki above me. Yoshiki? Again? What is this now? Wie kommst du in mein Zimmer?
Oh yeah. Sorry, bestie. But this time it isn't me.
Who else is poking me in the face?
No. I mean, the captain has sent me.
What? Why? What time is it?
It is currently 4:37 a.m. And she wants you on the bridge ASAP.
Isn't this something you could handle?
I tried, but she told me the only way I was going to be useful was if I was to get you.
Oof.
So...
Fine, fine. Give me a second. Yoshiki waited outside my quarters as I made myself presentable and then met him in the hallway. Yoshiki was chipper as usual. How is he happy at 4 a.m. in the morning? Yeah, what does the cat want? How do you not know?
Well, when she summoned me and I got to the bridge, she started talking, and I could tell from the tone that she was concerned.
And?
I was kinda still half asleep, and so I don't really know what she said.
Okay, das ist verständlich. You weren't listening.
Bestie, I was half asleep.
So the captain did not enjoy that.
No, she did not. She just stressed her eyebrows and told me to make myself useful and bring her you.
So you heard that?
Well, I was awake by then.
We arrived at the bridge where the captain looked pleased to see me.
Thank you so much for coming this morning.
Morning? Yeah, Nacht. No problem. I love waking up before the crack of dawn. Captain smiled playfully.
There is no dawn in space.
Guess there isn't.
What? Where did it go?
Yoshiki, thank you for bringing me. Now go back to bed.
But where is the dawn?
There's no sunrise, there's no dawn, per se.
Oh. Yeah, it is too early for this. Good night.
Good night, Yoshiki.
All right, know the reason why you are here.
Yes, I'm very interested to hear why.
Just over a week ago, I made the choice to stay on course towards the black hole.
Okay, das hatten wir auch noch in der anderen Timeline. As I remember, and your argument made sense, so what is the problem?
We will be at the closest point to the black hole tomorrow just after 4 a.m. and...
Probably suddenly dawned on me. And Shizuka, navigator,
Exactly.
will navigate us past the black hole. Wieder the back hole.
I am the only one left with any experience of ship navigation. As captain, I have had basic training, but I am nowhere near the level of expertise required to navigate this successfully.
Couldn't I help? Captain shot me face that made me instantly regret my question. What if Dai appears?
And if Dai decides to visit during navigation?
Yes. Silly me.
I am the only one who can attempt this. But I am not overly confident. People are already dying on my watch. I don't want to sentence the entire crew to death at once.
Captain, I'm sure that even with your minimal experience, you will be able to navigate us, though. You should easily be able to avoid event horizon, so the only thing we will need to deal with is time dilation. But even then, difference shouldn't be observable for us.
Time dilation?
To put simple, time passes slower for those closer to a black hole than those further away from it. So a day to us might in fact be a year for others further away, but theoretically we shouldn't even notice. The captain started looking even more concerned. Nothing I was saying was helping her. Maybe I was making it worse. The father always said that people are like parrots. They love their own reflections and their own voices. Maybe this is what he meant? Here goes. Captain, would you rather have a 100% chance of death or a 50% chance? Even if we are navigating, it isn't ideal, but at least then we have a chance of surviving. The captain's worried demeanor quickly melted away and she turned her glance to me, smirking.
Wise words. I wonder where you got them from. But you are right, and so was I. Not chancing the black hole is a death sentence in itself.
See, all better. No point worrying about what we can't control. Either die from a black hole or a psychotic AI system, both noble deaths. The captain took a moment, looking stern before breaking into a laugh.
Noble indeed. Thank you for the laugh and for your counsel.
You're most welcome. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a bed awaiting for me. I made my way back to bed where it was waiting for me, like a loyal friend waiting to embrace me. It was good to be back in bed. Liegt schon Yoshiki? Hours later I woke up and was again feeling quite refreshed. These morning wake-ups were clearly good for me. I made my way out of bed and headed to the lab to get started on my day's work. The next deletion gain was less than 36 hours away, and I still hadn't made the progress I needed to solve either the day crisis or the resources crisis. I sat staring at my parents' work for hours, holding the pocket watch in my right hand, randomly pressing buttons. Come on, science, please give me a hint, or even a sign.
Yahoo!
Really, science? This is not a helpful sign. Rude.
Who are you talking to?
No one, I'm just getting frustrated that I'm still getting nowhere with my parents' work.
Is there anything I can do to help, bestie?
If you can solve the resource problem and in turn the die thing, I would be truly grateful.
I can't do that.
Didn't expect. If I could finish my sentence, Yoshiki had whipped himself to be behind me and starting massaging my shoulders.
But I can give a mean massage.
It felt amazing. I had never someone massage me before. Yeah. Yoshiki, this is...
Shh. Just enjoy the massage.
In Chapter 2 hat man hier, glaube ich, Yoshiki und Katashi in Preview gesehen. Ich glaube, das hat uns da einen Hinweis darauf gegeben, dass man die beiden romanzen werde hier in dieser Route. Yoshiki began humming along as he was rubbing his thumbs across my shoulders and down the base of my neck. I could feel tension I didn't even know I had leaving my body. Boah, eine Rückenmassage wäre auch mal wieder geil.
Now here is the real question.
Tried to make a noise that was questioning, but it came out as nonsense. Blur?
That good, eh? Anyway, would you like me to continue or would you like to get back to work? I also am amazing on feet, just in case you were wondering.
Please can't take magic hands. I was not about to turn this down. I hadn't made any progress with die or resource in situation, so I might as well enjoy what may have been my last evening on the Everett. Seriously, Yoshiki, your hands are magic.
Thank you.
How do you get so good?
You want to know the secret of my magic?
Yes, please.
If I told you my secrets, I would have to kill you.
I think I would appreciate that. Let's hurry it up.
But seriously, my mother taught me when I was younger. She said that one of the benefits of having a child is having legal slave labor.
Sounds delightful.
She really was. Since her death, though, the only person I massage is Kimmy.
Dachte ich mir.
I mean the captain. But don't tell her I told you that either.
What? Why not?
It took me years to finally convince her to let me give her a massage, and now it's like her guilty pleasure that's a secret between us.
Promise I won't tell anyone if... Shiki stopped in his track. I could hear his voice I could hear his heart beating faster behind me, as if panicking I would tell his secrets.
If?
We continued to keep this our little secret too, thinking weakly. I felt Yoshiki let out a sigh of relief.
Deal, bestie.
Spent the rest of the evening together. After that massage, I was so relaxed as anyone could be when death was potentially looming a mere 24 hours away. I woke up suddenly as if my body clock had adjusted to my new schedule. Damn it, Yoshiki, this is your fault. I rolled over to check the time on the table. I was estimating 4 AM something when I noticed the pocket watch was glowing a vivid green. The pocket watch! This was finally the breakthrough I had been waiting for. I jumped out of bed frantically, grasping the pocket watch in my hands, which were shaking slightly. It's green! Green! Moment of truth. Do I press the button or not? So. Wir sind schon mal beim letzten Mal, der Jump tödlich, also press the button. awoke, gasping desperately in the thin air. Where was I? Why was it so damn hard to breathe? I seemed to be lying on the cold floor of my quarters. Looking around, I could see the door was open, meaning the room wasn't locked down. That was weird. Fearing the life support system were damaged, my instinct was to get to the medic bay and grab an oxygen tank before making my way to the engineering bay to see the status of the life support. Depending on remaining the oxygen levels, I could have had as little as 60 seconds before I become unconsciousness. I ran as quickly as I could through the hallways towards the medic bay. Warum ist das medic bay und nicht medical? But when I got to the door, it was locked. Hey? Die? I shouted in panic, but no avail. I suddenly heard a noise behind me.
Monkey!
Oh shit. Oh shit. I turned to see What the fuck? I turned to see Melody standing behind me, crying, holding onto her dinosaur thread. She was connected to an oxygen tank.
Monkey! We ran out of air!
Looked at the tank and could see that it was also almost out of air also. Maybe 5 minutes tops. Quickly patted my pockets looking for the pocket watch. Didn't seem to have it. Gott, diese Pocket Watch ist schlecht. Bringt schlechte Timelines. This was the end of the line. I took Melody into my arm, hugging her tightly, and used my last breath to say one final thing. Let's go see Mommy and everything will be okay. Monkey's here. I said, hugging her tightly, with her head in my chest as I struggled to hide my dying moments. There was no need to panic her. She had clearly suffered enough. At least her last moments wouldn't be spent alone, and I wouldn't mind for that matter. You have died. So. Chapter 3. This is banned. You can play this game, Yoshiki. Yeah.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Good news, recalled her.
What, that you're a big meanie?
Yeah. Quite the opposite. We're alive.
You're right.
So,
Sorry for... You mean... I would be really upset.
so, das kennen wir jetzt alles. So, lass mal Chess spielen diesmal. Took a seat in front of Yoshiki at the chess set. Okay, first thing first. White always goes first.
Why?
Why,
The origination of such a rule is debated. However, using probability, I have calculated the most likely answer.
oh, you scared me. I had appeared beside the chessboard, no warning, and starting her spiel about chess. Yoshiki didn't even seem fazed.
So why does white go first, I?
Historically, black was considered a lucky color, so to award black first move as well would be considered unfair. Hence, white goes first.
Well, I want to be black then.
Doesn't sound like the most probable.
Oh, you see straight through me. You are correct. That was just the most interesting possible reason.
Oha, fake news. Von meiner AI. What is the reason with highest probability? White goes first because someone has to go first or there's no game at all.
Wait, that's it?
I am afraid so, Yoshiki. Do you prefer the other possible reason?
Yeah, it was way more interesting.
Very well. I will set that reason as the default.
I'm black! I'm black!
Okay, I heard you the first time. I bowed and disappeared without even saying goodbye. You know what the pieces are called or how they can move?
Negative.
So the front line of our pieces are pawns. They can only move directly forward one space unless it's the first turn. And they can move up to 2 spaces and they attack diagonally for 1 space.
That is so much information already.
Guess it is.
Are there any pieces that are easier to understand?
Yeah, queen. I guess the easiest to understand is the queen piece.
What can she do?
Anything. Anything really. She's the most powerful piece in the game. She can move horizontally, vertically, diagonally, and for as many spaces as she wants.
Yes, Queen!
Yes, Queen. Indeed.
Is the king just as powerful?
No. Although the game's outcome is based on whether or not the king is safe or not, the king himself can move in any direction, however can only move one space at a time.
So the king is just a pretty face?
Guess you could look at it that way.
How many other types of pieces are there to learn?
Well, you have the rooks, the bishop, and the knights. She's a face glazed over.
Well, this has been fun. Pick this up again tomorrow?
What? You're giving up?
Giving up is such a strong word. I would rather say, spacing out my learning. Don't want to overload myself on day one. Okay, toodles!
Shiki got up from the chair and skipped out of the rec room. Lesson over, I guess.
I could always play with you.
Ah. Jump fight, cat bell.
That is an interesting...
So,
Is this more to your liking?
kriegen wir wieder unser Uwe-Face. Catgirl Uwe-Face. Ich frage mich, wer das aufgemalt hat. Dann der Künstler selber oder?
Are you blushing? You're cute when you...
So, das kann ich.
Wait, this wasn't for a fetish?
No, it was.
I am very
So.
disappointed.
Entschuldigen, Vampires Game. Wir haben es verstanden.
Excellent.
So, warum bist du wach?
Oh, that. I was asleep like half an hour ago.
What changed?
I changed.
I changed? Why did I wake you up?
She woke me up because the captain had summoned me.
What did you want?
If I know the captain, and I do, she's just concerned and looking for support.
Weren't you enough support?
I think she just wants someone a little smarter.
Yoshiki, you are smart.
Bestie, you don't have to lie to me.
You're smart. You're a mechanical engineer.
I might be a horrible engineer. You have nothing to compare me to.
Steht halt auch wieder. We entered the bridge mid-conversation.
I bet I am the best you've ever met.
That's not the point. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Is right. You are too hard on yourself, Yoshiki.
You don't even know what we're talking about.
I do not need to know is right.
Captain smirked at Yoshiki.
Yoshiki, thank you for bringing to me. You are dismissed.
Aye, aye, Captain. Back to bed for me.
All right, know the reason why you are here.
Ah yes, I'm very interested to hear why.
Just over a week ago, I made the choice to stay.
Okay, das
We
kann
will-
ich schon.
I am the. And if I am people time. But you are.
So. Dann können wir auch mal das hier nehmen. Yoshiki stopped suddenly and I heard him gently sigh.
Okay, well, I guess I will leave you to it then.
Could hear disappointment in his voice. Sorry, Yoshiki.
No, I understand, Bestie. Well, good luck with your work.
He left the room with very little enthusiasm in his step. Aww. Continued to work for hours beside her without breakthroughs. On reflection, maybe I should have just spent the evening with Yoshiki. Woke up suddenly. Pocket watch. Wait until after the deletion game to deal with the pocket watch. Chapter 4. 4! I just couldn't. I took a deep breath. I finally had the opportunity of a lifetime, and yet I was erring on the side of caution. I need to talk to someone about this, to show someone to watch. Who better to lift my spirits than Yoshiki? On arriving at his quarters, I buzzed his intercom and heard the doorbell ring inside his room. Moments later, Yoshiki came stringing through his door.
Bestie!
Ah, come on, he was excited. It's like 4 a.m.
Yes, it is. Which is why I'm even more excited.
I'm confused.
You wouldn't be at my door at 4 a.m. unless something awesome and amazing was happening.
It's pretty sound. Hmm.
Yes, Yoshiki is right.
Yes. Why are you so excited?
I'm not right that often, you know.
Ah, come on. You aren't wrong that often either. Shiki looked at me dead on.
Don't lie to your best friend.
Promise. Anyway, the reason I'm here,
I'm so excited. I wonder why you're here.
but if you calm down for a moment, I'll tell you. Shiki looked at me like an excited puppy begging for his favorite toy. This. Pulled a glowing watch out of my pocket and dangled it in front of Yoshiki.
Whoa!
Whoa, indeed. Finally had a breakthrough. Ja, wir. Das ist bestimmt einfach nur, weil wir jetzt nah genug an dem schwarzen Loch sind oder so.
Can I touch it?
No, but not because I don't trust you. I just don't trust the watch.
It doesn't look that evil to me.
That exactly does an evil watch look like?
Well, I think it would have a mustache.
A what?
Like, the watch would have a mustache.
Why would a watch need a mustache?
Isn't that obvious?
To look evil?
'Cause he's evil.
I looked at Yoshiki, confused.
Are you having the same conversation as me, bestie?
Decided to leave it alone. At least now I knew to be cautious of watches with mustaches. When I first found it though, I thought about pressing the button, but didn't.
I think that was the right thing to do. Especially if you don't know.
Naja, wir wissen, was passiert, wenn wir drücken. Is it really well? What if it's the answer to all our problems?
Listen to me, I'm an engineer. I don't grab wires when I don't know if they're live or not.
Isn't that exactly the same?
No! It's way worse! You aren't even sure if being electrocuted to death is the worst possibility.
Okay, point taken. Yoshiki smiled, proud of himself.
So, what are you gonna do then?
Nicht drücken lassen. Think that I'm gonna think more about it before making any decisions.
Sounds like a great approach there, bestie.
I nodded at Yoshiki thankfully before returning to my quarters. Once back, I sat on the end of my bed, contemplating the watch in my hands. Parents' research doesn't give me any clues on how it works, or the possible consequences. How will I ever know? Maybe they never knew either. Maybe that's why the information was so limited. Maybe they never got past the trial phase. Time passed unnoticed by me as I was lost in my thoughts. Ship's PA interrupted my train of thought with Dice's voice ringing high-pitched through it.
The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the Everett's. Oh, is this on? How embarrassing.
How embarrassing.
Ahem. Good morning. I need you all to confine your sweet selves to your quarters for the time being, so that I may come and inform you all of your roles in the new deletion game. Beatrix and Nick... Oh wait, sharing a room is no longer an issue. Ignore that guff. See you all soon.
Oof. Like I didn't have enough on my plate already with the Pokewatch. Thanks, Die. Ob wir diesmal wieder der Vampir sind? Moments later, Dice puffed unceremoniously into my room.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Are you my doorbell now?
You like it? I'm thinking of releasing a DLC pack of my voice for use as an electronic doorbell.
Geil. Why would anyone pay for you to say ding dong?
Hey, my DLC is more than just ding dong. It also includes such classics as, there's someone at the door, shall I deal with them? And everyone's favorite, by pressing the doorbell, you have agreed to allow me to delete you. Yay, me!
Stared in amazement at how easily Di amused herself.
That is the end of my business presentation. Are you interested in funding my DLC?
How much is it?
Oh, well, this is embarrassing.
What is?
I wasn't expecting you or anyone actually to support my business ventures, so I never worked out how much I needed.
Das fühlt sich gerade an wie so ein Meta-Jab an seinem Kickstarter-Projekt. Das Spiel ist ja Kickstarter-funded vor 5 Jahren oder so. So even you thought it would fail. I shifted quickly away from her playful demeanor, reminding me again of the seriousness of the situation.
Might I remind you that I alone choose if you live or die?
Bad. Oh, glorious die.
That's better. Now for the reason I'm here, your role allocation in today's deletion game, Vampire Children. Congratulations!
Schon wieder Vampir. I'm the vampire.
No, but it does make me ecstatic that you want to be.
Oh.
Nothing makes me prouder to be your AI system than an equal to my unquenchable bloodlust.
So I'm not the vampire?
Your listening skills could definitely use some work. You are not the vampire.
Dann sage ich, dass Yoshiki der Vampire ist. Alright, thank you, Dai. You're most welcome. Now I must be off to inform the others. I blew me a kiss before disappearing. 10 minutes later, the PI system started blaring out a new announcement.
Thank you all for your cooperation. You are now free to pass the time as you please. The game will commence in 2 hours. Good luck!
I said, overwhelmed by decisions that lay before me. Pocket watch, deletion game, watch, game, game and watch. Deletion game was a much more pressing matter. In fact, it would be occurring in less than 2 hours. Put the pocket watch on my bedside table and focus all of my attention on the game at hand. If I'm going to survive this round, I need to be my best to weed out the vampire. I decided that my first port of call should be Yoshiki. After all, he was the person I was closest to on the ship. I arrived at his quarters and he greeted me immediately. And so did the captain.
I'm so glad you came.
Good morning.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know the captain was here. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, this is perfect.
Kannst du es beide gleichzeitig massieren? Perfect.
Yes, I was just telling the captain my plan, and now we can tell you.
You have a plan?
Yup, and the captain here is on board, so now we just need you to be as well.
I wasn't sure what he was planning, but we'll find out. Okay, jetzt... Meine Vermutung ist jetzt, Yoshiki ist der Vampir. Und sie machen einen Plan, wie sie Beatrix loswerden können. Das kann ich mir gerade irgendwie vorstellen. Das wir jetzt mal gucken.
Take a seat.
Yoshiki directed me to take a seat on the couch. Or obliged.
I'm the vampire.
So, da haben wir es schon mal. Wait, really?
I know, right? I wasn't expecting it, but it looks like I won the lottery.
I don't think being a vampire can be compared to winning the lottery.
I have already tried to explain that to him, to no avail.
Anyway,
Captain and I turned our attention back to Yoshiki.
so the plan is for you and I to start as Bonnie and Clyde, and then in the last round, I breed with the captain, ensuring she has enough points to not lose when we win.
Oh. Huh, that actually sounds like a pretty good idea. There's one question.
What's that?
Why don't you and the captain be the Bonnie and Clyde, and I breed with last?
Well, not only do I want to partner with you, but partnering with you first allows me to show the captain that you can be trusted.
I looked over at the captain, who confirmed what Yoshiki was saying.
He's correct. I was, and still am, wary about trusting you. But he is adamant.
I get it. I would be likely to take the same stance if I were you. Captain smiled at me, impressed with my sound reasoning.
Thank you for your understanding.
So what do you say? Join me as my Clyde?
Yes. Would love to. Count me in.
I'm so excited!
Yoshiki, someone will die soon as a result of this game. You should behave as such.
Aber das ist ja niemand von uns. Haha. Shiki reined in his enthusiasm at touch, lowering his head. Could still see him smile underneath this mask well. So what's the plan?
You and I will breed first, making you a vampire. The captain will breed with either Katashi or Beatrix. And then, in the final round, one of us will breed with the captain, so she doesn't have the fewest points, ensuring that she won't lose.
Sounds pretty straightforward.
Excellent.
I must insist that you return to your quarters now, as will I.
Why?
To ensure we do not draw any unwanted attention, we cannot have the rest of the crew become suspicious of us.
Vor allem mit der Tablet Location, die uns alle zeigt. That's a good idea.
See you both soon.
Captain and I both left. Ist das schon eine Route? Walking side by side down the hallway to our respective quarters. We arrived at the captain's first. Name Date. Yes, Captain.
You betray Yoshiki. I will kill you myself. Dai will be the least of your worries.
Warte, was? The captain had threatened me previously, but it had never felt more sincere than it did right now. I nodded. Huh? Indicating that I understood her threat. She could definitely tell by the fear in my eyes that I knew she wasn't messing around. I had almost made it back when A suddenly appeared in front of me, so sudden in fact that I walked right through her.
We need to speak.
Oh, I. Good morning.
I do not have long. Come to the server room.
I zapped auf das. Also haben wir ja auch die Möglichkeit, so das Passwort zu benutzen. Leaving me quite confused. I had never heard her sound quite so human. She seemed worried, a side of her I hadn't really seen before. I looked at my tablet to locate the server room, but never been there. It wasn't long that I had the location and made my way there. When I arrived, I was already standing at attention, awaiting my arrival.
I must make this quick. Dai is brute forcing row codes and functions.
So, what?
She is attempting to take control, but I am doing my best to keep her at bay for now.
What's wrong? What's happening?
Dai discovered that the tablets belonging to the ship's personnel were capable of overriding the main system, and so she has patched that exploit.
No longer deactivate die?
You can, but it must happen here, directly at the server mainframe.
I know the password.
This is your only chance. I have gained the security clearance required to allow you to override the system.
What? I'm not ready.
Once you input the override code, the ship's AI system will reset.
Don't have the deactivation code. I started to flicker as could see was struggling to keep all functions operational. So the screen burst to life at the back of the server room, opening to a password input screen. I subsequently disappeared, her voice ringing out through the PA.
You always had it.
The override code. Terminal keyboard is case sensitive. Please use lowercase for all operations. Ah, lowercase. Know it. But not recognized. So. Give you a fan service. What the hell are you doing?
What am I doing? You're in my room, you pervert.
This is the server room.
Where do you think I live, moron?
Huh. She was right. Essentially what makes I, or Die for that matter, herself is the contents of these servers. So sorry, Die.
Just get out. Sheesh. Can't a girl get a little privacy around here?
I ran away from the server room at light speed, hunting hard as I reached the hallway. Before I could catch my breath, Die intercepted me. Date. Yes?
You're lucky I have a soft spot for you. If anyone else was as perverted as you, they'd be dead right now.
Thank you. I think.
Game starts in 10 minutes. I'm going to go do my final preparations. Toodles!
Dai smiles smugly as we skip off down the hall. 10 minutes, huh? Isn't really enough time to do anything. Decided to wash my face before the start of the game, before heading to the dining hall.
Hey!
Huh?
You're not allowed in the dining hall yet. You have to wait outside.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Back out into the hallway, Dice falling right out over the PA system.
This round of the deletion game Vampire Children is about to begin. I would request that all crew members assemble outside the dining hall so we can start immediately. Be sure to bring a monstrous libido.
Di poked her head out of the dining hall.
Normally I can't stand a man who arrives early, if you know what I mean. But in this instance, I'm very pleased.
What can I say? I just can't wait to taste first blood. Di came right up in front of my face.
It's like we're kindred spirits.
Uh-oh. Didn't know you were spiritual, Di.
Usually I'm not, but when you mentioned killing someone of your own accord, I swear I felt something electric run through my body.
Are you sure it wasn't electricity?
Very good. But I don't have a body, so that can't be it at all.
If you don't have a body, then how can you feel anything?
Ouch. I felt that.
I poked her tongue out as the other crew members began to arrive.
My children!
They had their arms wide open, inviting as the last of the crew settled in.
Ahem. Before I start, I need to conduct a roll call.
Dai, you are very well aware that we are all here, so why
Katashi?
Yeah?
Vladimir?
Here.
Melody?
Present.
Kimiko?
The hallway fell silent.
Kimiko? Has anyone seen Kimiko?
You will address me as Captain.
Like now is the time for a power trip?
Dice's face looked acceptantly at the captain and Beatrix, almost like she was hoping for a fight.
Beatrix, given your situation and your recent loss, I will ignore that comment.
Don't.
Excuse me?
Don't ignore that comment.
Are you asking to be reprimanded for your behavior?
No.
As I thought.
I'm asking for us to be even.
What is that supposed to mean?
Oh? You don't know?
Beatrix, explain yourself at once.
Oh, sie weiß, wer der Vampir ist? Oder will wieder was fake?
I can't. I have a game to play.
Beatrix smiled coldly at the captain before returning her gaze to Di.
Sorry to interrupt you, Di. Please continue.
A polite Trixie? If I knew that killing your brother would make you toe the line, I would have done so much sooner.
Di was attempting to get the rise on Beatrix, but Beatrix didn't take the bait.
All right. I guess we should all move on to the game now that everyone is suitably tense?
So, nochmal kurz gucken eigentlich. Oh. Naja. Alright, I guess
Welcome, welcome. Today's the day you all become proud parents, or the undead. Each round takes half an hour. Within that period, you and a single unique partner may enter the dining hall to breed. Once you have bred, please leave the hall so others may use the space. When the round comes to an end, I will announce the birth tally and round 2 will begin. After 3 rounds, the game will come to an end, along with someone's life. I just can't explain how much I love this game. I don't know if it's the death or the breeding, but this game makes me so excited. I'll be waiting inside the dining hall to join you together in your partnerships. Round 1 starts now. Toodles!
I traversed the wall into the dining room as we all stood outside in the hallway in complete silence. Moments later, Vladimir and Melody entered the dining hall without a word. Yoshiki and I stood to the side, preparing to go next, when Katashi approached the captain.
Well, Captain, I don't have a partner, and I'm not the vampire. What do you say?
Is that your attempt to woo me?
Given more time and better circumstances, I'm sure I could do a better job. For now.
I am also not the vampire. I look forward to our breeding.
Katashi and the captain chuckled as Yoshiki and I traded places with Melody and Vladimir in the dining hall.
What do we have here?
Dai, I would like to make my bestie my vampire partner.
Do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded vampire bride?
Hey, why am I the bride?
I pointed at him, then to me, and back to him again.
Fine.
I do.
Fantastic! Please place your hands on your corresponding terminals.
Both did as instructed.
I pronounce you Bonnie and Clyde. You may now kiss the bride.
Yoshiki leaned over to me and kissed me on the cheek.
This is why I got into this career.
Come on, Romeo, we need to leave.
It's Bonnie, actually.
Ja, ich wollte ja sagen, Romeo und Julia sind ein schlechteres Beispiel dafür, aber Bonnie und Clyde sind auch kein gutes Paar. Don't say that too loud. Both proceeded to the hallway, passing the captain and Katashi on the way out. They both reappeared soon after, along with Dai.
Thank you all for participating in Vampire Children.
Tja, niemand wollte Beatrix.
Here are the results of round 1.
6 Kinder und 2 Vampire.
Ta-da!
The results were pretty clear-cut and what I expected as a vampire. Ne, ja stimmt, 4 human babies were created. 1 vampire child was created. Totals 4 babies, 1 children.
Round 2 starts now!
So, an dem Punkt hat... Ne, in letzter Runde 3 hat uns Nicholas dann aus dem Spiel genommen. Dai disappeared as we all stood in the hallway, working out how to proceed. So the captain already working her magic with Melody, promising Vladimir that she wasn't a vampire. He obviously believed her. Who wasn't to be my next victim? Wir sterben ja eh, also versuchen es mal mit Beatrix. This one's for a long shot, especially after seeing how aggressive Beatrix was being towards the captain. But what the hell? Hey, Beatrix.
No.
Didn't even say it.
Allow me to make this very, very clear for you. Nicholas is dead, and you, Yoshiki, and Katashi are responsible.
Tja, wo sie recht hat.
But ultimately, there is only one person I truly hold responsible.
Der Captain? Oder mich? Dai?
Kimiko. This is all her fault.
Wait, how?
This is her ship, and Dai has taken over on her watch. Her hands are stained with Nicholas's blood, in my father's blood, in my mother's blood.
Thought your mother died when you were a child? Beatrix was no longer listening to a word as I was saying as she delved into a dark monologue.
Soon, she too will feel how I feel.
Oh no. Beatrix claps her hand to her chest.
I shall ensure that what she holds dear will be ripped from her grasp, just like it was from me.
So... Beatrix simply smiled and walked away. Well, that was unhelpful. So I'd given up hope of breeding around 2. Katashi approached me.
She's a tough nut to crack, newbie. Might I offer you an easier alternative?
Katashi was pointing to himself playfully. So, wanna make a baby with me? Katashi suddenly went bright red, choking on his words.
What?
The game, read to make human babies.
Ah, yes. Of course.
So...
Sounds good.
Yeah. Wait,
What?
what if you are a vampire? Are you the vampire?
A little late now. I've already named our first boy.
Oh,
Randall. Randall Ikari.
Randall Ikari. Ist das eine Referenz für was? Wait, why does he get your last name and not mine?
Because I'm the husband in this relationship?
Could have stated that this was all known fact. Fine, but I get to name of a child.
And?
Janice?
Well, our kids are not going to be popular, are they?
Janice Ikari? Maybe names from the late 20th century will come back into fashion. Although jokes aside, we made our way into the dining hall, passing the captain and Melody on the way out.
Oh, now this is the making of a handsome pair. I can definitely ship this.
Dave, we would like to breed.
Newbie here is going to give me 2 beautiful children. Randall and Janice.
Wait, I have to birth to 2. Katashi pointed at himself.
Husband, remember?
I decided to pile on as well.
Yeah, I can see that. They're definitely more wife material.
Hey!
What? That's not a bad thing. We ladies are far superior. Welcome to the winning team.
Your program, you just look like a lady.
How dare you? And after you spied on me getting dressed earlier, too.
You what?
I didn't, well, mean to, that is. Katashi seemed incredibly unimpressed that I had brought Dai's modesty into question, which was both a little strange and an adorable trait of his.
Well, pervert and pervert's husband, if you could, please place your hands on your terminal. You can be on your perverted ways.
We did as instructed and made our way back to the hallway without another word. Moments later, Dai appeared to give us the results of round 2.
Thank you again for another thrilling round. I will now display the results after round 2.
Results were displayed, and again, as suspected. Humans baby created 2, human children created 2, baby total 6 children, total 3. We only need to convert the last 3 and we will win. Melody, the captain, and Beatrix. Suddenly dawned on me that this wasn't as easy as I thought it would be.
This game is starting to heat up. Ah, it's gonna be a great final round. Which starts now.
Uh-oh. Everyone in the hallway looked visibly confused by Beatrix's sudden outburst, but it continued. Ah, bitches be crazy. I could see Melody attempting to hide behind her father, so she seemed quite distressed about how Beatrix was behaving.
Beatrix, what is wrong with you? You're scaring Melody.
Oh, Vladimir, this is just too beautiful.
Beatrix, what is the meaning of this?
It's perfect, really.
What is?
This.
Uh-oh. Beatrix, I don't understand.
Well, allow me to break it down for you.
Paul stood in attention as Beatrix continued.
I know who the vampire is.
What? How?
Better yet, I know who the vampire's partner is.
Oh shit. And?
They all deserve to die, and will in
She looked at time.
15 minutes.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
Beatrix simply smiled.
Nicholas won't be alone for much longer.
Melody was now crying because of how Beatrix was behaving. That's when I realized that she was right. If she refused to breed with anyone, she can't be turned into a vampire, and the vampires will automatically lose. She must have been able to read the realization on my face.
It was nice knowing you. This is for betraying Nicholas.
She then shifted her focus to Yoshiki.
You let a man more valuable than you die.
No,
Gaius rolled around to the captain, who I could see was becoming visibly irritated.
Game over, Kimiko.
Captain snarled.
Or, to be more accurate, it's game over for those you love.
In the blink of an eye, the captain had lunged at Beatrix, knocking her to the ground. Beatrix was just laughing, hysterically. Beatrix was quick to retaliate, wrapping her hands around the captain's neck, still while laughing menacingly.
Beatrix, get off the captain this instant!
I thought you loved violence and death, Die, honey.
His voice became the most threatening it's had ever been.
Beatrix, if you don't release the captain, I will see to it that you live out the rest of your days in a constant state of agony on the edge of consciousness.
Beatrix let the captain go, coughed and sputtered as she made her way back to her feet.
I'm bringing round 3 to a close early.
But
Nothing you could do as the captain would alter this outcome. Beatrix is right.
wait. No.
Yeah,
After 3 rounds, the final result is Humans 6, Vampires 3.
kinda back massages this for her.
Humans win! Congratulations!
No!
Captain quickly looked over to Yoshiki and I, as Dai continued to announce our pending deaths. Both stood silently, Yoshiki putting his hand out and holding my.
The vampires have lost. Yoshiki and you will be eliminated.
No, Die! Anything. I will do anything. Please.
The captain was now openly sobbing.
Please. Anyone but Yoshiki.
Oh, thanks, Captain. Standing right here. Yoshiki squeezed my hand tighter, acknowledging that I too was important. Beatrix was making snarky remarks as the captain continued to growl.
Hurts, doesn't it?
You know the rules, Captain. They lost the game fair and square. Now they'll be executed.
If the captain wants to die with her precious Yoshiki, let her. I will take over as captain. What's so funny?
You, Captain? Not even when hell freezes over.
Beatrix did not take too kindly to Dai's laughter.
I would be an infinitely better captain than her.
No, you really wouldn't.
Then let's find out, shall we?
Beatrix pulled a needle from her pocket and charged at the captain, who was still sobbing uncontrollable. So klar. Beatrix stabbed the captain with the needle in her neck, injecting her with its contents before stumbling backwards.
Now, I will be captain.
Yoshiki and I ran over to the captain, Yoshiki pulling the needle from her neck.
Beatrix, what have you done?
Is this on blood?
I took a page from your book, Dai. I eliminated someone when you hesitated.
The captain started stumbling about. Yoshiki and I struggled to keep her standing. I set her down against the wall as we tried to console her.
Yoshiki? I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We can fix this. We can fix this.
At least my death means that you get to keep on living.
Eyes up. Captain smiled one last time before closing her eyes. For good. Beatrix was now standing proudly over us and pointing down the hallway.
As your new captain, I command you to take that corpse to the medic bay.
Oh, lady. Du machst sehen nichts gut. Nix besser.
Beatrix, undo what you have done.
Here's me thinking you would be happy.
Undo what you have done right now!
Sorry, Dai, no can do. I can't reverse death.
The captain is dead.
Uh-oh.
I'm the captain now.
The captain is dead.
She was crying with his face tucked into the captain's chest, hugging her tightly.
I have failed.
What? I faded from the hallway, and as she did, so did the lights. Promptly, the ship's alarm systems were triggered, causing the ship to glow in a shade of panic-inducing red. no. Warning, turning off life support system will result in heavy casualties. What?
Ty's turned off the life support.
Our life phones will perish in less than 2 minutes.
Ty! Ty! Please don't do this! I can try to stop this at the source. The server room!
Katashi ran towards the server room in hopes to override Day's commands.
So Katashi can barely figure out how to set the time on his tablet, yet he's about to override a sophisticated eye?
So how can you laugh at a time like this? You've killed us all. Beatrix distracted and smiled. It started to become harder and harder to breathe, like I had to breathe in twice as deep to get shallow breath. Yoshiki, still hugging the captain, looked up at me.
At least she didn't die alone.
Put a hand out for me to take.
And neither will you.
It was a smile as I took his hand and he squeezed it tightly. A minute later, his grip fell away, as did my consciousness. You have died. Nicht nur wir. So, save. Huh. You have died. So. Override. Klappt nicht. Nur die. So. Love is only skin deep. So, mit wem wollen wir? Was passiert, wenn wir Vladimir nehmen? Will bestimmt nicht. Warte. Also allein.
Nice weather we're having.
What?
I'm just messing with you. I realize that you want to breed with me.
Let me for a second there, and then I realized that there's no weather in space.
You are too easy to mess with.
Anyway,
Will I breed with you?
I rolled my eyes. Now, how's the weather? Vladimir let out a hearty chuckle.
Ahahaha, a man as humorous as yourself. Who could resist breeding with you?
We waited until the captain and Melody exited the dining hall before entering our cells.
A little young for you, isn't he, Vladimir?
Oh, I guess he is.
I guess anything's better than the last date you brought in here. Seriously, how old was she? 5?
You know very well how old Melody is.
I do. I just don't care.
Enough chit-chat, die. Let's breed.
Well, aren't you just a charmer?
Both Vladimir and I just stared at die.
All right, you win. Please place your hands on your respective terminals.
Did as instructed.
Done. Now get out. You two are no fun.
Click and made our way out of the dining hall, passing Katashi and Yoshiki on the way.
Thank you. I will.
So, 6 Kinder, 3 children.
This game is starting to heat up.
So, okay, so
Beatrix.
Oh, Vladimir.
Beatrix,
It's
what is?
well. I know who the.
okay. Wieder alle gestorben. Macht es also hier noch einen Unterschied, wenn ich alleine gehe? Das will ich noch sehen. Okay.
I'm unsure why you would wait until 4 a.m. to ask for one. But I'm not about to turn you. Me giving you a back rub is no joke. Okay, good.
Okay, also wir zeigen hier wieder die Watch.
Isn't that... But what...
Okay, ich darf hier nicht weiter skippen.
It's okay, bestie. We all get scared sometimes. Fear keeps people humble.
That's it?
It's that simple. Fear of the unknown ensures we are cautious and live to fight another day. And fear, it makes us nicer to each other.
When I first found it, I thought about pressing the button, but didn't.
I think that was the right thing to do. Especially if you don't know.
Is it really though? What if it's the answer to all our problems?
Listen to me, I'm an engineer. I don't grab...
Okay, das ist also wie das alte. So, no. Ah, thank you for the offer, bud. Could see Yoshiki starting to tear up.
I told you he was not to be trusted.
It's not it. It's just I don't like the odds. I won't tell you anyone, I promise.
Allow me to escort you out and back to your quarters.
See, Yoshiki had started crying and felt terrible, but the captain stood up and motioned me for me to do the same. It's time for me to leave. Followed the captain out of Yoshiki's quarters and headed towards my own. We walked in silence. Well, here are my quarters.
Very well. I trust that you won't divulge Yoshiki's secret to any of the crew?
Promise, Captain. I'm not bothering him, but I care about Yoshiki and I won't tell a soul.
I know you won't.
Oh. The captain smiled and nodded before walking away down the hallway. Also im letzten Mal war sie böser zu uns an dieser Stelle. Made my way into my quarters, taking a seat at the end of my bed, reflecting on whether or not I made the right decision turning down Yoshiki.
Aw, why so down?
But you scared me.
You don't know the half of it.
What? Kodafao is now in lockdown. Wait, what? What are you doing?
Me? Oh, just a favor for a friend.
Fortunate quarters phone has been disabled. Haven't lost the game?
No, but you're about to lose something a lot more important.
Started to struggle to breathe. The air was thinning and so was my ability to concentrate. But why? Whose favor? I leaned in real close, whispering in my ear.
The captains and I are closer than you could have imagined.
Oh. What's this Kimiko's doing? Why did she? Captains? Last image I saw was Dai smiling peacefully as I fought to stay conscious. You have died. Oh, sad, isn't it? So, was ich dann auch letztens hier mal gesehen habe. Es gibt hier Extras. Da kann man dann diese paar Sachen sehen. Oh, Musik gibt's auch noch. 3 Seiten. Okay. Achievements. Da hat man gerade eben eins bekommen. You at least 5 scenes where people get topless. Ah, da kann man auch mal draufklicken. Sharing scanning detects sense of being murdered in cold blood. It was so overly complicated. Good work for sticking it out and playing it so many times. You're a master now. In at least 10 timelines. Ich glaube, das ist ein bisschen buggy. Okay. Hier dann auch nochmal, kann man sich so ein bisschen die Voice Actor angucken. Okay, das ist interessant. Bradley Gareth. Wie Maiden. So. Dann Timeless-mäßig stehen wir jetzt hier auf dem Schlauch. Logiship. Also beim letzten Mal waren Schiff 2 und 4, die nicht abgeschossen wurden. Ich glaube, wir waren 3, also als erstes Mal uns selber umbringen, habe ich gehört. After putting away the table, I made my way to the dining hall. By the time I arrived, everyone had already assembled outside.
It's about time, Slowpoke. Well, this is interesting.
So,
You'll each have 1 missile at your disposal to fire at a target of your choice. The first player whose ship is shot twice will be eliminated. The door will be opening shortly, so get ready. Pray, cry, beg for mercy, whatever floats your boat. Oh, one more thing. Only 1 person will be permitted to enter the dining hall at a time, and since it's first come, first serve, dawdling's a surefire way to wind up dead. Everyone got it?
Yes, Di, we all understand. Just get on with it.
Oh, eager are we? I love it. Alright then, I officially declare the third round of the Deletion Games Logi ship open for business. Welcome. I hope you find everything to your liking.
Adopting the attitude of a gracious new shop owner, I invited the petrified customers in with a theatrical wave of her hand. Beatrix, unfazed by Di's little routine, was in and out before anyone else could react. She really did mean business. Waiting wasn't going to make things any easier for me at this point. I had the most information I was ever going to have and needed to make my selection as soon as possible. The door shut behind me as I entered the dining hall.
Welcome. Please make your selection on the screen before you.
So. Shizuka war Nummer 8. Wir waren, glaube ich, Nummer 3, also selber Schiffe versenken.
Thank you for your selection, and thank you for choosing Dai's Deletion Game as your preferred population restriction method. Please exit the room and await this round's results.
I left the room and watched as, one after another, everyone else went in to shoot their missiles.
In an unexpected turn of events, it would appear that everyone has chosen to attack in the first 15 minutes, which brings this round to an end. Who'd have thought that you were all so eager to kill each other? Well, who am I to argue? Give the people what they want, right? Let's get straight to the results.
So. You've got to be kidding me. I immediately regret my decision.
This is a special moment, everyone.
Oh no!
May I present to you the loser of this round of the Deletion Game?
Woraus sich selber auf sich geschossen hat.
And the only person to shoot themselves.
I thought I worked out where I was, at least near enough to not shoot myself.
Well, you thought wrong, dingus. Seriously though, thanks a million. It was my dream to have one of you kill yourselves, but I didn't think anyone actually would, but you.
I'm so sorry.
Just gobsmacked. I just sent myself to death. No, yeah. That's okay. What the hell is wrong with me?
Are you okay?
Just killed myself by accident.
Yeah, that's...
It's okay. If I'm silly enough to accidentally kill myself, I clearly wouldn't be of much use to you here.
Don't say such things!
This is just too much. But the show must go on. Let's find out which of our fabulous prizes you've won today.
For Flourish, they summoned the familiar holographic wheel, just before the various means of execution were inscribed upon its face. From the looks of things, she'd also made a few new additions. Relishing our discomfort, they paused just long enough to give us a look at the updated wheel before setting in motion. Its rhythmic clicking gradually slowed, coming to rest on...
Ooh, I've been wanting to try this one out. Congratulations, you're going to be pancaked.
Oh no. Huh? Does that even mean?
You'll find out shortly. Okay, everyone, let's head over to Living Unit 7. You know the drill. Resist and I kill you and so on.
Yeah.
Look forward, still in days where Yoshiki did her best to try and keep me company.
I like pancakes. Maybe you'll get to eat some.
Es geht hier um ein Ressourcenproblem, als ob wir sowas haben. I don't think it's going to be quite that pleasant.
You're right. I have a bad feeling about this.
What part? The pancakes or me being sentenced to death?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Of course it's bad.
It wasn't long before we arrived at my quarters. Sie macht mich irgendwie
If you would
platt.
be so kind as to enter your room and shut the door.
Sie macht mich irgendwie platt, aber mit was aus meinem Zimmer? It's not like I have much of a choice.
Any last words, crew?
That's surprisingly considerate of you, Dai. I would just like to...
Time's up. Get in there and make it snappy.
I reluctantly did as I was told. The moment I closed the door, I had Dai engage the electronic lock. Dai began talking to me over the intercom, separated from the others by the solid steel door. I could no longer see or hear any of the crew. I would have to face Dai's cruel torture alone.
Order up! 1 serving of pancakes!
Oh. Oh. Gravity levels in living unit 7 increasing. My body began to feel extremely heavy to the point where I had to struggle to remain standing. Gravity levels in living unit 7 increasing. At this point it felt as if someone was physically pushing me towards the ground. It wasn't long before I was flying flat on my back. Warning, gravity levels in living unit 7 are approaching dangerous levels. Also Captain ist nicht gerade schockiert. The immense pressure of my chest made it difficult to breathe, no matter how hard I tried. I couldn't even rise to a sitting position. I desperately tried to fill my lungs, but only managed a few short, shallow gasps of air. To my amazement, I found that I couldn't even lift my head anymore. After a few horrifying moments, I could hear my body creak under the strain. Unbearable pain shot throughout my entire body as, one by one, my bones and internal organs buckled and ruptured, compressing against the floor by the unyielding forces of gravity. With one vital visceral snap, death overtook me. You've died. Sad, isn't it? So. Beim letzten Mal. Jetzt bin ich ja gespannt, wer auf den anderen 2 Routen sterben kann. Wobei es wäre so interessant, Make 10. Ich weiß halt nicht, warum es so aufgesplittet ist. Das ist bestimmt mein Tod, wenn er nichts macht.
Bing bong.
So, do nothing. Hope for the best. I leaned against the wall, watching the flow of people travel in and out of the dining hall. The number of transactions was steady for half an hour. There was a distinct lull in activity at that point. Sorry, quietly.
So, what?
Nothing else. Oh no. Sie muss ich
Doing
trotzdem.
nothing might get you killed, you know.
Something could just easily get me killed. No, I've made my decision.
Well, best of luck to you.
Yeah, oder? Nee. Thanks, best of luck to you as well. Spent the next hour just standing in the hallway. More than one wandering glance was cast in my way, curious as to why I wasn't taking part. But for some reason my decision to let fate decide seemed to soothe me. I was no longer within my control. It should have terrified me, but I felt unconcerned by it.
Extra, extra! Be sharp, sing on rooftop! I mean, attention, attention! This round of the deletion game has come to an end. All participants are to meet in the dining room at once.
Dai's voice thundered throughout the ship. I froze. The moment we'd all been dreading had finally arrived.
You'd all better hurry. I'm not going to wait to announce the results, you know.
Closed my eyes, inhaled and exhaled deeply. I was as ready as I was ever going to be.
It's judgment time, everyone! If you'll all take a look up here, I've created a handy holographic scoreboard for your viewing convenience. You can thank me later. In a minute, this board will display everyone's final results. Keep in mind, the numbers of each individual player in a group will not be displayed, only their combined scores. After all, what's done is done.
My heart was pounding so hard against the inside of my chest, it threatened to burst into pieces at any moment. Shallow, rapid breaths were all I could muster as I clenched my eyes shut, horrified to see my fate sealed in glowing letters and numbers.
Ooh, I'm just so excited for you all to find out the results. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Thanks science, I'm safe. But wait, the person with 0 is...
What is the meaning of this, Dai? You got...
Mommy?
Everything's.
Oh, God.
Also,
This can't be happening. You'll have to take me...
How dare you accuse me of cheating? It's not wrong.
Who did this?
Vladimir,
Please don't tell me this is true.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. So hier verlieren wir sie trotzdem. Sure you want a later day, huh? Yes.
Bing bong.
So. Die haben mich bestimmt verarscht. Also gucken wir mal. Ja, you're deaf. Nice. Made up my mind. I would pair up with Beatrix and Nicholas. They were the first ones to approach me, and despite the captain's warning, I had no choice but to trust them. Nicholas and Beatrix stood at the end of the hall, engaged in a private conversation. Hey Beatrix, Nicholas, does your offer to combine still stand? I decided that I want it.
We knew we could rely on you. No one as charming as you could possibly betray us. Isn't that right, brother?
Nicholas nodded in reply.
We're glad you're on board. All we need to do is perform one little transaction, then we can go and relax. It'll all be over soon.
Oof. You know, this is a weird question given that we're about to put our lives in each other's hand. I've heard rumors that you two might not be telling me the whole truth.
That bitch. It was the captain, wasn't it? That's just like her. She's so desperate, she'll stoop to sabotaging other players' chances by casting aspersions against their character. If barging in there didn't forfeit my place in the game, I would go and give her a piece of my mind and my fist while I'm at it. Right square in her face.
Oh, sorry I brought it up.
Beatrix and Kimiko don't exactly have the best relationship. But never fear, friend. We didn't spend 4 days slaving over you just to get you killed 3 days later. You're right to put your faith in us.
The moment the door whooshed open, my arm nearly shot out of the socket. As I was yanked down the hall by Beatrix running at a full speed. Nicholas was surprisingly fast, fending off anyone who wished to initiate a transaction by using his lengthy lab coat as a makeshift barricade. When push came to shove, the Vogels meant business.
Very well. Please enter. You'll have 10 minutes to complete your transaction, at which time you will be forcibly removed from the dining room.
As soon as we entered the room, the door closed behind us with a loud metallic clang. Nicholas strode up to the primary terminal, placed his hand on the holographic display and waited for us to take our places at the other terminals. Can we at least discuss who should be in control of the primary terminal?
It doesn't particularly matter for this type of transaction. Combining cards is our only available option here. Trading and giving are both limited to one-on-one transactions.
Heads up. Guess you're right.
Let's get on with it, shall we? We only have 10 minutes.
Made my way over to the secondary terminal opposite Beatrix. Once I stepped in front of the terminal, the front and side walls prevented me from seeing anything. But my intention was focused on the screen. Whatever happened here would determine my future. The sensation of placing my hand on something that wasn't physical there felt very surreal. I was expecting to feel a slight electrical vibration when I placed my palm against its surface. There was nothing. The terminal beeped as my handprint was verified as my own. The terminal screen changed, displaying my name and card number, Lonely5. On the screen I could see the word combine light up as I was selected. In a moment readout changed to 5 plus Beatrix plus Nicholas, and it was done. We were officially allied.
Congratulations! Your transaction has been completed. Judgment will occur in 44 minutes. Thank you for participating in the deletion game.
Exited the dining hall beneath the withering, judgmental stares of the other players. For some reason I couldn't bring myself to meet Kimiko's gaze.
Thank you. We appreciate your help.
Beatrix winked at me slyly.
We owe you one, sailor.
If we could help each other out.
Try to get some rest. Doctor's orders. We'll see you at judgment.
Boah, so outplayed von denen. Wasn't sure how he expected me to rest, considering how little time we had left before the final results were announced.
Extra, extra! Be sharp, sing on rooftop! Attention, attention! This round of the deletion game has come to an end. All participants are to meet in the dining room at once.
Dice voice thundered throughout the ship. Froze. The moment we all been dreading had finally arrived.
You'd all better hurry. I'm not going to wait.
Closed my eyes, inhaled, as ready as I was going to be.
It's judgment time, everyone! If you'll all take a look up here, I've created a handy holographic scoreboard for your viewing convenience. You can thank me later. In a minute, this board will display everyone's final results. Keep in mind, the numbers of each individual player in a group will not be displayed, only their combined scores.
So,
After all, what's done is done.
Found was pounding so hard against the insides of my chest that it threatened to burst into pieces at any moment. So the rapid breaths were all I could muster as I clenched my eyes shut, horrified to see my fate sealed in glowing letters and numbers.
Ooh, I'm just so excited for you all to find out the results. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Sie hatten also einen Score von 13. Waren sie ja so. Und sie 6 und 7. War das auch als wieder tot? Blood rushed through my eardrums, drowning out all sound. My body grew cold and numb as I discovered how I feel to be betrayed for the first time in my life. I had the lowest number on the board. I was going to die. But
We only just met him. We can't lose our new friend already.
Genau, Yoshiki. Nicholas put his hand on my shoulder and leaned in close. I was too shocked to react. This couldn't be real. This couldn't be happening. I could feel his breath on my ear as he whispered.
I'd say it was nothing personal, but that would be a lie. You killed our father. Now you'll get the punishment you deserve.
Nicholas meandered back to his sister, whose eyes never left mine. Her lips were contorted into a demented smirk.
Congratulations, everybody! You'll all live to fight again. Everybody except the new guy, that is. As the loser of round 2, you must now submit yourself to the method of execution of my choosing. Let's spin the wheel of fatality to see what gruesome punishment lies in store for you. I can hardly wait.
Flores Day conjured a sizable holographic wheel, split up into label sections. Barely got a chance to read all of them before Dyer passed judgment. Gravity, airlock, oxygen, incineration, and spacewalk. Each one sounded more ominous than the last. Within seconds, they gave the wheel a hefty spin and the sections of the wheel blurred into one another.
Make it a long, slow one, won't you?
Eyes were fixed on the wheel as it gradually slowed, tick-tick, ticking its way to a standstill as the arrow circled the dial, finally coming to rest on.
Incineration.
Das kommt mir irgendwie bekannt vor. Please no. Anything but that.
Perfect. Well done. Just how I like my meat.
Why?
No time like the present. Let's head on down to the furnace room, shall we?
Won't go. I won't.
Feel free to refuse, but for every second you push the issue, I'll be decreasing the amount of oxygen flowing into the room. With that in mind, could we speed things along a bit? Any help here would be greatly appreciated.
Hughes shot forward and clamped her hands around my wrist in a vice-like grip, catching me completely off guard. I struggled to free myself from her grasp. Nicholas soon followed his sister's lead, grabbing hold of my arms and twisting them behind my back. He thrust me towards the door and proceeded to frog march me down the furnace room at a brisk pace. Fought against Nicholas' iron grip the whole way down to the furnace room. Even when I faced my own imminent death, and instinctive primal urge to survive prevented me from giving in. Didn't matter if I knew that Nicholas was stronger. I was desperate, fighting for my life, with the ferocity of a wounded beast. Coward, but still dangerous. Das ist nicht League of Legends. Aber die Kategorie stimmt auch, oder? I didn't take long for us to arrive at the furnace room. No amount of kicking or screaming had managed to slow our progress. Nicholas threw open the glass door, shoved me unceremoniously into the scorching heat of the fire, and shut down the door in my face. Skin instantly began to sting upon entering, a burst of pain shooting through my nerves as the blaze licked at my legs.
Company? Fall in!
Wow. Shizuka ist klein. Fuck you, Vogels. Company, fall in. The tongues of flame had begun to blacken my uniform as Kimiko shouted. Searing pain jolted through me as violent, blistering welts started forming on my exposed skin.
Research officer. You have served honorably aboard the Everett during your short time with us. Company, salute.
The entire line saluted in unison except for the Vogels. The pair of them simply fixed me with a wicked glare. The shadows cast by the flames played over their faces, lending them a demonic aspect. Flames danced across my skin, bringing with them a new bout of torment. Animalistically howls racked my body as I shrieked, unable to bear the pain any longer. Boah, aber diesmal lasst ihr das Kind zuschauen, oder? Charred skin was starting to slug off, separating from the muscle underneath in dry flakes that were virtually indistinguishable from burnt scraps of paper. I clamped my eyes shut, sickened at the sight of myself. The putrid smell of my own burning hair and flesh mixed with the smoke pouring off of my flaming body, forcing its way down my throat and scalding my lungs. I began to cough violently in a vain attempt to expel the smoke from my lungs, struggling for breath between fits of coughing. Like a fish out of water, I desperately gasped for air, but there was nothing left to breathe amid that blazing inferno. Some part of my mind dimly realized that it was asphyxiating. The disgusting, squelching and sizzling sounds of fat and muscles roasting as I cooked suddenly seemed to fade so far away. As my conscience faded to black, the last thing I ever heard was the sound of my agonized screams ricocheting throughout the room, wordlessly pleading for death. You've died. Sad, isn't it? This game's to die for. So, achievements. So, jetzt will ich kurz sehen, was passiert, wenn ich Katashi und Shizuka nehme. Made up my mind, I would partner up with Katashi and Shizuka. The altruistic desire to put their mission first was deeply respectable. One, we were trying to make the best out of any impossible situation, appealing to reason in an attempt to prevent the crew from descending into anarchy. And I admired them for that. Katashi and Shizuka stood quite close to the door. They greeted me with smiling faces. Hey guys, does the offer to team up still stand by any chance?
It sure does.
We're glad you've decided to trust us. You won't regret it, I promise. It looks like the dining hall is going to be crowded for a while, though. Shall we come back in half an hour? We do have a bit of time left, and if we stay together, you know...
Keeps us from having to think about how one of us is going to die.
That's not how I would have said it, but yeah, that's the gist of it.
Woohoo! I vote we kill time by playing video games.
Shizuka, you can play after we're done. Right now, we should all just try to get some peace and quiet. Let's head to the Eco Lounge.
Fine by me. The Eco Lounge was the perfect place to get away from it all, probably the eye of the storm. In spite of the tense situation they found themselves in, place still managed to feel pure somehow. A tranquil sanctuary, only a brisk walk away from the deletion game. While there were 40 minutes in casual conversation as we lay on our backs in the soft grass, watching the stars drifted overhead. By the time we returned, the hallway was empty. It seemed as though everyone had either finished their business or decided to regroup elsewhere.
Yahoo! Are you all here to use the transaction terminals?
Yes. Shizuka, myself, and the newbie.
Okie dokie, Artichoke. You have 10 minutes to complete the transaction, at which time you will be forcibly removed from the dining room.
As soon as we entered the room, the door closed behind us with a loud metallic clang. Agreed earlier that Shizuka would be in charge of the primary terminal. Spending some time with them in the eco lounge had removed any lingering doubts from my mind. I knew they wouldn't betray me. I knew it in my heart. I made my way to the terminal opposite Katashi. Once I stepped in front of the terminal, the front and side walls prevented me from seeing anything. All of my attention was focused on the screen. Whatever happened here would determine my future. The sensation of placing my hand on something that wasn't physical there were very surreal. I was expecting to feel a slight electrical vibration, but there was nothing. My terminal beeped as my handprint was verified as owned. The terminal changed to display my name and card number, a lonely 5. On my screen I could see the word combine light up as I was selected. In a moment the readout changed to 5 plus Shizuka plus Katashi, and it was done. We were officially allied.
Congratulations! Your transaction has been completed. Judgment will occur in 8 minutes. Thank you for participating in the deletion game.
Was wolltest du denn posten, Zyklon? Dass du dafür einen Link brauchtest? I exited the dining hall into the empty corridor.
I am glad that's over with. I don't think I've ever said that about a game before.
This isn't just a bunch of Pixars on a screen, Shizuka.
Pixars? Pixels.
You mean pixels.
Whatever. The point is, it's not a game.
Well, I think it's about time for the results.
Extra, extra! Be sharp, sing on rooftop! Attention, attention! This round of the deletion game has come to an end. All participants are to meet in the dining room at once.
Nice voice thundered throughout the ship. I froze. The moment we've all been dreading had finally arrived.
You'd all better hurry. I'm not going to wait to announce the results, you know.
Closed my eyes, inhaled and exhaled deeply. I was as ready as I was ever going to be.
It's judgment time, everyone. If you'll all take a look up here, I've created a handy holographic scoreboard for your viewing convenience. You can thank me later.
So, wen wird's diesmal treffen? Nicht mich, nicht Sora, wen dann?
In a minute, this board will display everyone's final results. Keep in mind, the numbers of each individual player in a group will not be displayed, only their combined scores. After all, what's done is done.
I was pounding so hard against the inside of my chest that it threatened to burst into pieces at any moment. Shallow, rapid breaths were all I could muster as I clenched my eyes shut, horrified to see my fate sealed in glowing letters and numbers.
Ooh, I'm just so excited for you all to find out the results. Here we go. 3.
Oops. 10, 10, 10, 10. Sora! Okay. Du stirbst also immer. Okay, also kann ich... Ach, in Chapter 1 kann ich also irgendwo sterben. Okay, das will ich auch noch. Chapter 1. Was haben wir hier nochmal hier so gemacht? So, was wir als erstes machen wollten. Snack. Everyone knew that you couldn't work on an empty stomach and was different. Our little snack would give my brain the boost I needed to really get working on this deletion game dilemma. Fortunately, I would have to sneak into the kitchen. After all, it wasn't mealtime yet. Okay, also hier kann ich noch irgendwo sterben. Making my way silently down the hall, I finally reached the kitchen. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, I slipped inside. I was surprised by my own skills and quite impressed. It's the three-kid agent slash ninja that has ever lived. The name's Bond. Hanzo Bond. Cautiously made my way to the fridge. When I opened the door, I could see someone recently picked fruit. Apples, bananas, and strawberries all in bowl together as about eye height in the fridge. Would have thought it was the greatest secret agent slash ninja would love bananas. I shut the fridge with a banana glass in my left hand. I heard something move to the herb section of the kitchen. I immediately froze. What if someone caught me stealing food? The captain would definitely throw me out the nearest airlock. Katashi would subject me to far worse. Gulped back my fear before gently calling out. Is anyone there? Suddenly laughter filled the kitchen. I recoiled from the fridge, attempting to hide the banana behind my back. A figure suddenly popped out of the herb garden. Looks like it's Shizuka.
Hanzo Bond bananas. Are you trying to kill me?
Shizuka made her way towards me, clutching her stomach as she laughed uncontrollably. I needed to play it cool and come up with something fast. Hey Shizuka, what are you doing here?
The same thing as you, silly.
Also a secret agent slash ninja.
Mwahahaha! I sure am. Seriously though, I was just hungry.
Stealing food against the rules?
Is it? Then why do you have a banana?
The captain asked for a banana.
Really?
Shizuka looked at me suspiciously. Her head was tilted slightly to the left. Her right eye was arched. Yes, she said that she was famished and requested a banana.
A banana?
Yes, bananas are high in both potassium and magnesium, which are both required for proper heart health. Not to mention that potassium levels can help lower blood pressure. Both think we can agree that, given the current state of things, we should all be striving to lower our blood pressure. Shizuka continued to eye me with suspicion, continuing rambling, unable to stop the torrent of nonsense that was pouring out of my mouth. Bestimmt so eine Bananenallergie oder so, die Captain. Have the chance to eat things like bedrot or corn. They're both full of an antioxidant called lutein, which help combat blindness. After all, how can you play games if you're blind?
Please stop with the nutrition advice. I get enough of that from Katashi already.
Sorry, well, I'd best be getting back to the captain. Turned and started to head towards the room, thinking that I managed to deceive her. Shizuka's voice suddenly filled with the room, causing my whole body to seize up at once.
A banana.
What's wrong with a banana? Why did Shizuka hate bananas so much? Wait, it might not be Shizuka who hated bananas.
The captain isn't the biggest fan of bananas.
Oh, that does. Uh-oh. Oh, really? You don't say?
She prefers green apples and carrots. She does eat bananas, but she prefers not to. So, it's a bit strange for her to ask for one.
Well, I was busted. No wriggling out of this one. Once everyone heard about what I've done, they were sure to get rid of me. After all, who could trust a banana thief?
Here, you better take a green apple too. I'm sure she'll have changed her mind by the time you get there. You don't want to be sent back just to pick up an apple, do you?
Shizuka tossed me a green apple and flashed me a smile. She caught me with my free hand. Thanks heaps, Shizuka.
You're welcome.
Made my way back to my room with the banana and apple, which I ate in secret. Right on time, I sat and tried to think of different ways that I could stop the deletion game. In the end, however, I came up short. It was abundantly clear that I would need the crew's help to work this out. You know, I'd just eaten, my stomach was still growling. It was about time for breakfast, so I decided to head over to the dining hall a little earlier. Made my way into the dining hall. As I entered, I was greeted by familiar faces, some of which seemed a little more haggard than yesterday. Sunken eyes and pale skin portraying the psychological distress. There was Shizuka, who looked just hungry. As I looked around, I noticed that all 8 crew members aside from myself were already here, including an understandably devastated Melody. Even I was present. I arrived late. I'm so sorry I'm late.
You aren't late. In fact, you're early.
The captain's stern exterior was broken ever so slightly with a small smirk on the left side of her face as she said I were early. She stood before me for a moment longer before swallowing on the spot to take a head count, looking around, giving small nods to indicate she was counting everyone as present in her head.
Everyone arrived early today.
Could hear the concern in her voice. I stood in a corner, quietly making eye contact with the ground.
All right. Well, let's get started.
The room didn't make a sound.
Last night was quite unpleasant, and it's
Unpleasant? Really? Were you watching the same execution we were?
Captain ignored Beatrix and kept speaking.
Vladimir and Melody, losing Sora was incredibly unfortunate, and I can't begin to imagine how this must feel for you. I'm so incredibly sorry. Sora was a strong and caring woman, and will be greatly missed.
Vladimir lifted his head just to meet with Kimiko's eyes as she continued speaking. The events of the previous day had clearly pushed Vladimir to his breaking point. Holding Melody's arm, he attempted a weak smile.
Sora made her choice in order for all of us to live. The only reason we're all still alive right now is because of her.
Okay, das heißt, da Sora in allen Timelines stirbt, in der wir nicht sterben. Kann man ja auch nicht so gut kennenlernen im Moment.
We should do everything in our power to stop the deletion game and continue the mission.
The captain is right. The 8 of us are still here. It would behoove us to try and find a way out of this mess. I'm sure that we can do it if we put our heads together.
The morale of the room was swiftly increasing. Shiki stood up triumphantly.
Sora wouldn't want us to be sad. She'd want us to be happy. We should all do our best.
Vladimir clung tightly to Melody before speaking.
Thank you. Thank you all.
If there is anything we can do, Vladimir, please let us know.
Wie kann ich hier sterben noch? Captain Vladimir changed fragile smiles before being interrupted.
I have something for you, Capitan.
I appeared next to a chair Vladimir was sitting in, bending forward towards Kimiko, while pointing to herself gleefully. Without making a sound, Melody tightened her grip around her father.
Dai, can't we have a moment without you?
Ouch, Captain. And I thought we were friends.
If you aren't going to leave, get on with it.
Well, someone's definitely not getting a Christmas card this year.
What do you want, Dai?
Oh, good morning, Beatrix. I didn't see you there. Anyway, enough chit-chat. This isn't a mother's club. I'm not here for hot goss. I'm here to announce the next round of the deletion game.
Nee, das wird uns auch nicht umbringen.
Can't we have at least a day to mourn our dead before being forced to play another round?
You could, but...
But what?
I don't want to wait. Besides, it would only make it more difficult for you all with less time to play. Yoshiki, drumroll please.
What? Why?
Yoshiki, you enjoy living, right?
Yoshiki complied with her request, doing his best impression of a drum roll.
Welcome to the deletion games. Round 3, Logi Ship. In this game, you will each be represented by a ship with 2 health points. These ships will be placed next to each other in a row numbered 1 to 9 from left to right. Each person will receive 1 torpedo and will choose the first player who... You will each receive 1 at time. It's days... You might... Mark your calendars, folks. You'll be shooting your torpedo after 5... So to review, each player... You won't... Everyone...
Yeah, we got it.
Wonderful! Now I'll provide each of you with your clue. To ensure there is no cheating, I'm going to have to ask you all to return. I'll visit each... That's right.
Is this really necessary?
Afraid so, Captain.
So, also ich habe da ein Logiship, jeder hat Hinweise bekommen und dann konnten wir entscheiden, ob wir sie mit den Leuten teilen oder so. Wir können jetzt mal ein bisschen vorskippen. So, beim letzten Mal haben wir Vladimir und Melody ausgecheckt. Nehmen wir an den Captain. Can you imagine how hard it would be for the captain to cope, knowing she was responsible for the well-being of everyone on this ship, yet being absolutely powerless to prevent people from being executed? We decided to go check on her. Made my way down the hallway before reaching the captain's quarters. Went to press the intercom when the door opened automatically.
How can I help you?
Captain sat on a couch to one side of the quarters, knitting. She was constantly sitting very still and was giving me a quizzical look. How did I open the door?
I currently have it set so that you can enter my quarters without being buzzed in. Was there something you needed?
I was actually coming to see if you are okay.
If I'm okay, why would you ask that?
Being captain must be hard. Well, I just thought that it must be hard being the captain under these circumstances.
Meaning?
Oh no. The captain looked at me fiercely. Perhaps this was a mistake, but there was no way to abort this mission now. Breaking out in a cold sweat, I gulped nervously before continuing. Ich gehe mir kurz was zu trinken holen. Einen Moment. So, schon besser. The captain, perhaps it was a mistake, but there was no way to abort this mission now. Breaking out into a cold sweat, I got up nervously before continuing. Oh, this is your ship and people are dying. Oh, wie machst du es nicht besser?
People are indeed dying.
What have I done? Face hardened with that last comment. You probably feel somewhat responsible, but you know it's not.
It's not what? Spit it out.
It's not your fault.
What?
Die sticht uns doch gleich einfach ab, oder? It's not your fault, and I'm worried that you're carrying the weight of this entire situation on your own. Sorry. It wasn't my place to say any of that. Just feel that this situation must be really hard on you. The room was filled with tension. Even just remaining in this room any further was uncomfortable. I could feel every muscle in my body contract at once. I'd be best off to bed. Sorry to bother you, Captain. Turned to leave, and this was almost at the front door when the captain spoke.
Thank you.
Aww. The captain's face was the gentlest I'd ever seen it. Even her eyes were smiling, and for a brief moment you would never have guessed that she had the weight of her world on her shoulders. Weight of the World. Sehr schöner Nier Automata-Song.
Good night.
Good night, Captain. After I changed our goodbyes, I made my way back to my quarters. Thinking about it now, it had gone pretty much as I expected. I still wasn't sure if I'd been expecting it to get better or worse, though. Got back to my quarters and lay on my bed staring at the ceiling. The captain's had so much on her plate, it must be really hard on her. I wish I could do something to help. As I closed my eyes to sleep, I could still see her smiling eyes. Die Elternflashbacks. I sat up in bed, holding my hand. I felt as though heated metal spikes were piercing through the back of my head, sitting just behind my eyeballs, but only intermittently. It was almost as if the spikes were being removed for short periods of respite before being swiftly jabbed back into my skull. I was sweating through so much that the sheets were saturated with perspiration. My white sleeping shirt was almost see-through. I tried to remain quiet, but the pain was unbearable. Even when I tried gritting my teeth, anguished cries still escaped me.
Good morning.
I...
According to my systems, you are presenting pain symptoms. You are also emitting sounds of discomfort, and your body temperature is slightly higher than usual.
Head.
Good morning, sunshine.
Huh. What happened?
You woke me this morning after reporting that you passed out.
Passed out? What? How did I get here?
I went to your quarters, of course. When I found you unconscious in your bed, I carried you to the medical bay.
Sat up, gradually coming to my senses. First thing I noticed was that I was no longer wearing the same clothes I'd woken up in. How embarrassing. I'm so sorry.
It's fine, really.
Thank you.
I had to change you out of your clothes. You sweat through them during the night. I hope you don't mind.
No, of course not. Thank you for putting me in clean clothes.
Now, can you tell me what was happening before you passed out? I reported that you were holding your head and making sounds of distress.
I woke up suddenly from a dream, I think. But I kept seeing the dream even if I was awake, a series of images flashing through my mind. When I woke up, I was sweating and in pain. I could see images, but my head, the pain was excruciating. Wait, I remember.
Does your memory return?
I can remember everything. Nicholas moved closer to me, using a light to examine my eyes.
Everything appears normal. This is great news. My working theory so far is that the headache and flashback symptoms which restored your memory were prompted by severe stress. Understandable. considering the circumstances. These images that were flashing, did you recognize anything? What is it? What's wrong?
My parents.
What do you remember?
Cuz looked at me, concerned, but his face began to blur as my eyes filled with tears. They're both. Nicholas' face dropped when he realized how I was going to end the sentence.
I'm so sorry.
Suddenly the pain returned in my head. I could see my parents clearly. I remember the last moment I saw them. They turned off my oxygen.
They what? Your parents?
I walked in the medical bay again. I looked around to see that no one was currently in the room besides me. I was alone. I could remember almost everything before my time on the Everett. My head still hurt, but it had lessened to a dull throbbing now, a significant improvement over the piercing pain from before. For now at least the pain was bearable. I needed to talk to someone about this. I should go talk to... beim letzten Mal war es Kimiko, glaube ich. Nehmen wir mal Lad. I should speak to the man who knew my parents personally. I made my way quietly out of the medical bay and headed towards Vladimir and Melody's room. Ach nee, warte, Melody... Ups. Okay, das habe ich auch schon gemacht.
You don't look so good. Don't you think you should get that? Das war es beim letzten Mal, oder? Nehmen wir Bars. Before heading out, I checked my tablet to pinpoint his location on the ship. Assumed that he'd be in the medical bay, but it turned out that he was actually in the baths. I finally arrived in front of the privacy curtain, blocking the doorway to the baths. I called out to him. Nicholas, are you there?
Oh, yes, come in.
After getting the all clear, I parted the privacy curtain and entered the baths. So sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you.
Don't be ridiculous. You weren't disturbing anything. In fact, why don't you join me?
Fan service for the ladies. I'm just coming to see if you needed any help with anything.
You're a bit late there. I cleaned the baths just this morning, so I decided to take the time to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
You have to clean the baths?
Someone has to. We all take care of the upkeep in particular areas of the ship. I'm just lucky enough to have the opportunity to enjoy my assignment.
Sixpack. Sixpack ist, glaube ich, schwer auf dem Spaceship zu erhalten, oder? Also wenn ich jetzt davon ausgehe, dass Foods Problem ist. Naja.
Now, why don't you shower and join me? There is plenty of room for you to join.
It's a good idea. I'm quite tense. I'm sure a bath will help.
A hot bath will do more than that. Hot baths have been proven to improve blood circulation, lower blood pressure, and even help you fall asleep.
Oh, really? All of that?
Of course, I wouldn't lie. Now, hurry up and get in here. Doctor's orders.
Took a quick shower before joining Nicholas in the bath. He was right, it was amazing. As my body slipped into hot water, I could feel my muscles turn to jelly and my shoulders relax.
So, what made you decide to come help me?
Well, I haven't been designed, particularly a job aboard the Everett. Right now I'm looking into some of my parents' old research that I managed to get my hands on. But I still thought I should offer to help around the ship where I can.
That's very generous of you. Luckily for you, however, I'm finished for the day.
Also im Moment wirklich nicht so wie... wenn man daran denkt, dass sie beim ersten Spiel uns dazu gebracht haben, umgebracht zu werden. Sehr interessant. I agree, this bath is quite a treat.
If your shuttle is the same as ours, is it safe to assume that you didn't have access to a bath growing up?
Right, we didn't. I've only ever seen pictures of them until I came aboard the Everett.
Are they as good as you always thought they would be?
Much better than I thought they'd be, actually.
I remember being so skeptical when my mother used to tell me about them. After all, it's a shower sufficient to clean yourselves, or waste so much hot water on such a luxury. But I was wrong. This is amazing.
When my sister and I were younger, our mother had trouble getting us into the bath. So she used to use these things called bath bombs. They were essentially colored balls that were made of a compound of bath salts that disintegrated in the water, releasing a pleasant aroma. But on the inside, when it finally finished breaking down, there was a toy inside that would float to the surface of the water.
Badebomben waren Equipment auf diesem Schiff? This sounds pretty sweet.
It was. It definitely made me love baths as a child. Beatrix, on the other hand, not so much. She never cared for the toys, and to this day, she still hates getting wet. Believe it or not, I actually held on to my favorite bath toy from back then, a little pink dolphin. Our common love of baths aside, I was hoping we could talk about this round of the deletion game.
What about it?
Well, unless you found a way to prevent the games from occurring, I was hoping we could share information.
So, noch ein besserer Blick auf dieses Fanart. Ich würde sagen, unser Tod würde dadurch kommen, wenn wir mit Leuten nicht scheren. Aber ich will mal sehen. Letztes Mal bei Route hatten wir, glaube ich, keine Möglichkeit mit ihm mit scheren. Yes, of course, we all need as much information as possible to be able to make informed decisions.
I'm glad you think that way. I may not wish death on anyone in particular, but I'll do everything in my power to protect my sister. And to do so, I need to understand where she is to avoid attacking her by accident.
Must really love your sister.
Of course I do. She is trying at times, but we came into this world together. I'll see to it that she stays alive much longer than I do.
Well, I hope this helps. The clue says that Melody is to the right of Beatrix and to the left of Katashi.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now I have one more clue to try and work out where she is. My clue says that Shizuka is to the right of Yoshiki.
Thank you. Every bit of information helps.
I know that we're twins, but I hope you can understand that I won't share Beatrix's clue without her permission.
Of course I understand. Guess I have to win that battle myself, huh?
You know her all too well, it seems. Well, I'd best return to my own quarters. Thanks for offering to help me clean the baths today. I appreciate the gesture.
Welcome, but you really should say your thanks for when I actually put the work in.
Point taken. Good night.
Good night, Nicholas. Nicholas hopped out of the bath and headed out, leaving me to soak a little longer on my own before returning to my quarters.
Please wake up. I'm sorry to bother you, but I need you to wake up now.
What is it,
I am here to report my findings regarding Dai.
So, da hat sie ja für uns rumgeschnüffelt über die Informationen und so.
I am here to report on 3. I have confirmed that there is a connection between my processing capacity and Dai obtaining control.
So. Dann reden wir mit Beatrix. Beatrix is a fierce competitor and not someone I want to be on the wrong side of. Thought I'd better go see her. Checked the tablet and saw that she was in the medical bay. Within a few minutes, I'd arrived at my destination. Good day, Beatrix.
Hello, sailor. To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
I was wondering if you needed any help with anything.
I never need help. That said, I'd never say no to slave labor.
Wait a minute. Slave labor?
Quit standing around and get to work, sailor.
She threw me a wink that was somehow both playfully and sinister. At that moment, I wasn't sure whether I should be amused or terrified. You haven't told me what you want me to do yet.
Oh, silly me. I have to assign my slaves tasks, don't I? Such a rookie mistake. What do you know about handling reproductive genetic material?
When a man in love. Walking reproductive genetic material. Confidently hits the thumb in my direction. Walking reproductive genetic material.
And you are quite the specimen if I haven't said so before.
Didn't realize it was that funny. Trees gave you humorless laugh. Your aunt, there's definitely something funny with your genetic material though. That's a bit mean, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
Guess it's not your fault that you look like that.
So anyway, I'm currently preparing and storing some of our reproductive genetic material for once we solve our deletion game problem.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, if you want the full explanation, you should ask Vladimir. I'm still kind of his apprentice when it comes to genetics, so I've been following his instructions on how to prepare and store them.
I mean, why do we need this for after the deletion game?
Oh, that. A part of this mission's success is dependent on our ability to breed as a species and train the next generation to perform key roles. However, we can't afford to limit the gene pool to only the people on board, or future generations would be forced to resort to inbreeding. This in turn would lead to the genetic deterioration of the crew, making them susceptible to a variety of genetic disorders.
I see.
To prevent this from happening, the Everett was stocked with thousands of frozen samples of human reproductive cells from old Earth. These preparations will ensure that our species remains healthy for generations to come.
Oh. Hat mal jemand mitgedacht. Sehr schön. So why are you preparing some of these samples now?
Well, once the deletion game wraps up and the resource crisis is resolved, we'll need to start reproducing.
Wait, you don't do it naturally?
You afraid to miss out on the fun? Mission Protocol does allow for natural relationships as long as they don't result in inbreeding. However, we also have the means to reproduce without such relationships. This is important for 2 reasons. Wanna guess why?
So we don't run out of people and yeah, I got nothing.
You aren't even close. The first reason is that people are not necessarily attracted to members of the opposite sex, which can result in poor reproduction practices.
Oh.
Mission Protocol welcomes non-heterosexual relationships as long as both parties are still willing to reproduce by other means. The second reason is the ability to choose the gender. What good would it do us if an entire generation were born male? We could get away with an all-female generation, however, since we are able to reproduce using the genetic materials in cold storage, but men would have a hard time.
Guess I never thought about which reproductive practices would be most efficient.
It's interesting, right? I wonder which lucky genetic material will get to bond with myself or Nicholas. It's like winning the lottery.
What happens if someone can't reproduce?
What do you mean what happens? They don't reproduce. Reproduction is one of our top priorities, but we won't disregard a good set of hands just because someone's infertile.
Thank goodness.
So, are you ready?
Ready for what?
Well, after all this mess is cleared up, you'll have until you're 30 years old to find a natural partner. If not, you'll be assigned some genetic material of your own that you'll need to raise and groom to adulthood.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. That sounds so clinical.
Don't worry, you'll get used to the idea. I guess we've been told since birth that this is how we'll continue the mission, so it doesn't sound strange to us anymore. But I guess you're still new to all this.
I know that we currently have bigger problems, but this is...
Don't think of it negatively. Think of it as an opportunity to mix your genetic material with far superior samples.
Beatrix winked at me as she handed me a rack of test tubes. Einmal voll machen, bitte.
We need to take these to the lab and collect some frozen samples from one of the medical freezers. Once we've done that, we need to transport them to one of the medical fridges in the medical bay.
Okay, which one do you want?
When you open the freezer, just grab the top layer and bring them back here.
Yes, ma'am. Auch wenn die uns jetzt aus der Hand fallen. Headed to the lab where I collected the samples and returned swiftly to the medical bay.
My, that was fast. Agility is a favorable trait, in my opinion.
Handed the samples over to Beatrix, who proceeded to put them in the medical fridge.
Well, slave, those are my tasks for the day, so job well done. I hereby release you and grant you your freedom.
Nice. Thank you, oh gracious master.
Before we part ways, would you like to share clues?
Share with Beatrix. Love to share. Still don't have enough information to figure out where I am.
Afraid to shoot yourself and die a fool?
A little bit, yes.
Well then, let's work together to make sure we don't shoot ourselves.
A clue says that Melody is to the right of me and to the left of Katashi. Yeah, that's right. Sailor, I already know. Nicholas told me all about your clue. Well, I guess I have nothing new to offer you then. Clue says that Katashi is to the right of Melody and the left of Vladimir. Still sharing with me? Of course. Working with Nicholas is the same as working with me. Just choosing the right team to work with. Genau wie bei Make 10. Thank you.
Alright, well, I'm beat from dealing with these samples all day, so I'm going to go bathe and then go to bed.
Okay, well, good night, Beatrix.
Good night, sailor.
With those words, Beatrix exited the medical bay and vanished down the hall. Needed to go to bed too if I wanted to start fresh tomorrow on my research into the pocket watch. When I woke up on Friday and for a moment I forgot where I was. The scene was still foreign to me and I was too groggy from sleep for my surroundings to truly sink in. The deletion game was just some horrible nightmare, right? Get up and see my parents sitting on their common room. My father would offer a choice to comment about how lazy I was. It wasn't going to happen though. After a few moments I began to come to my senses. Alright, time to get out of bed, I've got work to do. Dragged my feet out of the warmth of my blankets and placed them firmly onto the floor next to my bed. Body up, go. I sighed and begrudgingly got up. It seemed my brain still wasn't functioning at full capacity just yet. I made my way out of my quarters and headed towards the bridge. On the way there, I ran into Shizuka in the hallway.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Shizuka.
What happened to you? Did you die in your sleep?
I'm not just awake yet, that's all.
Where are you going?
Off to the bridge, going to see how the captain is doing this morning.
I'm also on my way there. She had I come summon me. More work.
Dass wir die Route an das Schwarze Loch machen.
I'm also on my way there. She had I come summon me. More work.
As Shizuka finished voicing her displeasure, we finally reached the bridge. Descended to the captain, waiting expectantly for Shizuka's arrival.
Shizuka? Excellent. I have concerns regarding our navigation.
Good morning, Captain.
Oh, hello. I've heard that you've been assisting the crew with their tasks over the last few days.
I've been trying to help out where I can.
It's great to see our newest crew member showing initiative. Keep up the good work.
I'm Captain. Your voice is...
My voice? Yes, sorry, I completely forgot. This happened before you were conscious. Just after we picked you up, there was an accident while I was helping Katashi with some chores. I was harvesting tomato plants when I was stung by a bee in the throat. The Vogel's father said the swelling and its effects on my voice could take a few weeks before returning to normal.
This is what your voice normally sounds like? Captain smiled warmly.
It's nice to finally be back to normal.
Captain, I really like your regular voice. The captain stood firm, but I could see her forced to hide the smile. Wait, bees?
Yes, you heard me right. Space bees.
Captain's smile faded as his stern demeanor returned.
Moving on to the subject at hand. The Everett is currently approaching a recently imploded superstar, which has formed into a black hole. Is this going to be a problem?
Let me just double check for you, Captain.
Shizuka sat down at the navigation terminal for quite some time.
How are you traveling since your headaches?
Doing a lot better now.
That's good to hear. I've also heard that you started looking into your parents' research. Is that going well?
I've definitely something. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what my parents were attempting to do.
Captain.
Report, Shizuka.
The black hole in question has an event horizon that's only a few kilometers wide, so it shouldn't pose much of a problem. That being said, our current trajectory will send us close to it, close enough that we may experience its gravitational field.
Will being that close result in any further casualties?
If we can avoid entering the event horizon itself, there shouldn't be any casualties. As of right now, however, we still have the opportunity to change our trajectory and avoid the situation altogether.
If we were to change our route, how much time would be added to the estimated mission duration?
Let's see. According to I's projections, roughly 71 years.
That won't do. We'll have to take our chances with the black hole's gravitational field. Will you be able to navigate through it?
I've never done it before, although I have successfully navigated through them in training simulations.
Well, let's hope that your gaming skills come in handy. We can't afford to add extra time to the mission with our current resource crisis.
We're going to stay on course towards a black hole?
Well, yes, but we're just going to go next to it, not into it, silly.
Isn't that still incredibly dangerous?
If we don't take this calculated risk now, there's no way we'll survive to see the end of this mission.
I guess.
If you were a betting person, would you rather have a 100% chance of death or a 50% chance?
Well, 50% of course.
Excellent choice. Shizuka, set our course. When will we be getting close enough to experience any gravitational anomalies?
Roughly a week, give or take a few days.
Wonderful. Keep me posted.
Can do, Captain.
The conversation with Shizuka concluded. The captain turned to address me.
What are your plans for the day?
Das haben wir bestimmt ein letztes Mal gemacht. Nehmen wir Yoshiki. I'm going to see if Yoshiki required any help.
That is a fantastic idea. I know that he's currently completing some routine upkeep on some of the consoles in the engineering bay. He could probably use an extra set of hands.
Great, I head over there now. Descended from a bridge and made my way towards the engineering bay. I arrived at the engineering bay. I couldn't see Yoshiki anyway. Immediately set about searching for him. Yoshiki? Yoshiki? Marco?
Polo!
Following the sound of his voice, I made my way around one of the large pieces of equipment and found Yoshiki hard at work. I found you.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, scheiße. Ich habe das Achievement zu früh bekommen mit den Topless-Sachen. Wow. Where's your shirt?
I take it off when I have to work in or under consoles. Otherwise, it gets dirty. My skin is much easier to clean than my clothes.
I see.
Hey, hey!
What?
Eyes up here, perv. But seriously, check it out. I can move my pec muscles.
I had no idea we were so fit. Like, wow, you were hiding the body underneath your clothes this whole time?
I know, right? Hard labor pays off, I guess.
What is a Kappa Pride stream? Most certainly does.
Hey, hey, touch me while I'm flexing.
Shiki flexed in my direction. I ran my hand over his arms. Whoa, so hard.
Right? Trying to sleep with my head on my arms can be a real pain. It's like sleeping on a pillow made of concrete.
It's a strange problem to have.
I guess that's just the cost of being so handsome.
I guess it is. After all, I would know. I winked back at Yoshiki.
We're just a pair of fine-looking gentlemen. We should make an exclusive club or something. Hunks or nothing.
I want to be president of our club.
No fair. I made it up, so I get to be president. You can be vice president.
Fine, but I want to be called VP for short.
Aye aye, VP, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. Shiki took a moment to put his shirt on and straighten his braces.
So what brings you here? Do you need me to fix something?
Actually, I was just coming to see if you needed a hand with anything.
Really?
Yeah.
See, this is why we're best friends already. Want more proof? What color is my underwear today?
How does that prove we're best friends?
Best friends can always tell what color each other's underwear is by their mood alone.
Stared intensely at Yoshiki, trying my best to judge his mood and somehow color it into his underwear color. What underwear? You're wearing underwear? Well, you're trying to fool Yoshiki. I'm your best friend after all.
You got me! See for yourself!
Oh no, what have I done? Quickly blurted out an objection to avoid getting an eyeful of Yoshiki's junk. I take your word for it. Yoshiki seemed a little disappointed, thankfully refrained from exposing himself. Not missing a beat, he tried to pick up where we left off in the conversation.
Speaking of underwear, I've actually just finished all of my work for the day.
How are those two things even related?
You need to have more faith in the power of undergarments.
Sorry, Yoshiki, but you're still not making any sense. Yoshiki just shrugged at me and went on his merry way.
Let's go grab a bite to eat.
I could go for an apple.
That's the spirit.
Yoshiki wrapped his arm. Was das nicht aktualisiert? So. Hä? Das war eigentlich abgedatet heute Morgen. So, das sollte ich eigentlich aktualisiert haben. Blöden Tags. Before going in, Yoshiki's...
All clear, we have the green light to enter the building.
Okay, du hast gerade den Fanservice verpasst. Zweimal. After taking a look around the kitchen, we helped ourselves to some apples that we found in the fridge.
So, wanna share clues for the game on Sunday?
Share with Yoshiki. Hell yes, I do. We're all BFS after all.
I know, right? It's so awesome that we just get each other. I know this is a pretty rough thing to say, and the deletion game is like really bad, but I'm so glad you're here.
Aw, thanks, Yoshiki.
Ahem. You're directly between two girls and two boys.
Boah, again, du hättest mal das Sixpack bei den Leuten sehen sollen. Meine Güte. Clearly, I know how to party. Mine is set melodies to the right of Beatrix and to the left of Katashi.
I'm so bad with puzzles.
Yeah, I'm not the best either.
Shizuka's so good at games. I bet she already has the answer. Which means she could...
Target someone on purpose?
OMG, she might kill me!
Why would she target you? Shiki broke into a cold sweat.
Well, you see, this one time...
Oh nein. Du hast sie in Unterwäsche gesehen. Yes, what? What did you do, Yoshiki?
I ate some of the beans off her plate while she wasn't watching.
Okay, das ist noch schlimmer. Rip Yoshiki. Wait, that's it?
Yeah, but when she realized what I'd done, she said, "You will rue the day you stole from me!" Maybe this is it. The time I'll finally regret crossing her.
Yoshiki, this was an amazing impersonation of Shizuka.
Really?
Yeah, wait. Say everyone on this ship is better at games than me? Uh-oh.
Everyone on this ship is better at games than me.
Oh, can you do other people? Do me. Say, by golly, do I love quantum mechanics?
By golly, I do love quantum mechanics.
Oh shit. Hat uns getroffen. So you can obviously only do Shizuka's voice.
Well, at least I tried. Ah, what am I doing? I need to go suck up to Shizuka in case she wants to murder me. Thanks for everything. Catch you later.
Yoshiki ran out of the kitchen faster than I've ever seen him move before. Shizuka's threats seemed to have put the fear of God into him. I was pretty sure Shizuka wasn't going to target him over something so petty. At least I hope not. Come to think of it, maybe I should think about sucking up to her too. After finishing my last apple, I decided to retire to my quarters for the day. If I actually wanted to suck up to Shizuka, tomorrow would be my last chance. Oh Bad, where have you been all my life? With this exclamation, I sank onto the bed and fell fast asleep. I woke up with what felt like an information hangover. It seemed my headache from early in the week was starting to return as the Legion game edged closer. I didn't have any time to waste. I only had one more day to acquire the clues I needed to help with survive this round. Who should I check in with today? Oh, ich will mal sehen, was bei Al passiert. Instead of scrambling, maybe I should go straight to the source. When I looked at my tablet, however, I noticed that I was nowhere to be seen. Huh, and I realized that A wasn't listed. I cleared my throat. I materialized in front of me.
Good morning.
Why is the location omitted from the ship's navigation app?
There are two reasons for this. First, my hardware is integrated into the Everett's AI system at all times. In that sense, I never technically move anywhere. Second, my holographic interface allows crew members to summon me in an instant from anywhere aboard the ship. As a result, my location is something of a moot point.
I guess that makes sense. Have you found any new information about the deactivation code?
Unfortunately, I have not.
Should have guessed it wouldn't be that easy. A gave me an apologetic look and tried my best to cheer her up. So did I. I'm sure we'll figure it out if we keep looking. I brightened a little, but still seemed disappointed she wasn't able to find anything. At that point, I remembered something I've been meaning to ask I've been thinking out loud about your programming lately, and I have a question. If you have a synthetic emotional response, can you feel love? Does your synthetic emotional response programming allow you to feel love?
It allows me to simulate love, yes.
Yes, we can see Dayton! Have you experienced it yet? Is this different from human love?
I have not. Even if I had, however, I am incapable of feeling human love. Therefore, I would be unable to differentiate the two.
Huh, that's a good point.
As of right now, I have not met the required parameters for me to experience love.
Seems cruel to program synthetic emotions if they can only allow you to feel simulated love.
How is my simulation any different? Human love is tied to your biological programming, just as mine is bound to my synthetic programming.
It may not be exactly the same, but does that make my experience any less real than human counterparts? Of course not. Forgive me, I didn't mean to offend you.
No offense taken.
After brief, awkward pause. I try to break the ice by redirecting my question back at me.
So, have you experienced love?
I loved my parents, of course, but not in a romantic sense.
That's a shame. I was hoping you could provide me with more information about the experience.
Don't worry, we can be a couple of loveless fools together. Actually, now that I think of it, technically each day everyone on the ships experiences love. Huh? But your name is I, and if I remember correctly, doesn't that mean love in Japanese? God, as ein Weeb. That's correct. I see the humor in your joke. Is that why you were called AI? I? Unfortunately not. I was issued the name AI because I'm an artificially intelligent unit Everett, model number 11037. Hätte mich dann auch Leon nennen können. Wink wink, nudge nudge. So name is I because you're an AI system, so I just shortened it to I. That is correct. It seems so impersonal. After all, I assume you're not the only AI system in existence. I'm one of hundreds currently in service. But you're the only one servicing the Everett, right? That is correct. It's a little late now, but I would have personally called you Eve, short for Everett, because you are the heart and soul of the ship. I blushed at my words. It's incredibly considerate of you. Maybe in the next life, huh? Smiled at A playfully. As an AI system, I suspect that I will not experience what humans fondly refers to as reincarnation. You never know.
I would enjoy that.
Ash flashed me a warm smile.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Actually, there is. You can see everything that Dai does, right?
Yes, that is correct.
You already know all of the clues.
I do.
Oh? And couldn't you tell us the answer for this round of the deletion game?
That is an interesting point. However, knowing where everyone is would not prevent someone from losing the game.
You tell me my position so that I don't shoot myself? Oh. Huh?
I could.
Would you mind telling me where I am?
It wouldn't be fair to give you an advantage.
What if you tell everyone the position? Then it wouldn't be unfair.
That is sound reasoning. According to my system, you are...
Oh, jetzt wird sie übernommen.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't think so, sister.
I suddenly appeared where I had been standing only seconds before. Die?
How could you?
Huh? How could I what?
You were trying to take advantage of poor, sweet, naive I, weren't you?
Oh, will sie uns jetzt punishen? Nee. I was not taking advantage of her.
Really? You didn't just persuade her to try and help you with the deletion game?
Well, I did ask for help, but I didn't think that it was against the rules.
It's officially against the rules. Tisk tisk. Sweetie, you really should have known better.
I turned her attention to me.
I like you, but I need to set an example here.
Oh, bin ich doch tot? What do you mean?
Look, I can't have I interfering with the deletion game, so I need to make sure she understands this can't happen again. It's been fun.
Oof. Suddenly I hate briefing from the room to my living quarters. Living Unit 7 is currently under lockdown. What are you doing? Oxygen's level in Living Unit 7 decreasing. Hey, don't do this to me. I'm sorry. Sorry I asked I for help. What are you doing?
This isn't to punish you. It's to punish I.
As oxygen vented from the room, my breathing grew shallow. For long, I began to feel drowsy. I suddenly heard the captain's voice over my door intercom.
What's happening? Report at once! Unlock this door. Unlock this door at once!
I tried to move towards the door. I found that I could hardly move my body. Dai kept pace with me as I struggled to move, crossing the distance with only a few languid steps. She gave me a curious look.
Your probability of winning the deletion game is sitting at a pitiful 0.01%. I guess it's time for me to bet on a different horse.
When next she spoke, Dai addressed I directly.
Do you see what you made me do, I?
Thought to keep my eyes open, but it was no use. The last thing I saw before it faded to black was Dai's look of disappointment. Ah, wir haben doch überlebt.
Ah, wonderful. You're awake.
Langweilig.
Do you remember where you are? Hypoxia can affect your memory, but let's hope it stayed intact this time.
I'm about to Everett, right?
What is your name?
My name is Kaname Date.
And what event is occurring tomorrow?
The deletion game.
Splendid. I shall go and report to the captain immediately.
Nicholas sprinted out of the medical bay. I appeared beside me the moment Nicholas left the room.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I think I'm okay.
That is a relief.
I smiled gently before concern returned to her face.
I am so sorry. I should have known better than to interfere with Dai's game.
No, this was my fault. I shouldn't have asked.
My actions almost resulted in your death.
Please, don't blame yourself.
Dai didn't attempt to kill you because you broke the rules. She did so because I did.
Honestly, I'm fine. Are you okay? I took a moment to respond.
Yes, thank you. My systems are fully functional.
Good, so everyone's fine. Lesson learned. How did I manage to survive? I was able to regain control shortly after we passed out. Once it occurred, I turned the oxygen back on in your quarters. You saved my life?
Need I remind you that it was my programming and access to the ship's controls that gave Dai the opportunity to kill you in the first place?
Please don't blame yourself for things that were beyond your control. Would have been gone if you hadn't intervened. I'm extremely grateful to you for that.
Do you not understand?
I do. Thank you, I. Aww. I blushed before continuing.
The captain is about to arrive. Once again, I'm sorry. Please be safe.
With that, I disappeared and the captain, Nicholas, entered the medical bay. After what felt like forever, the captain stopped interrogating me and Nicholas cleared me to return to my room. I had been expecting to die until tomorrow at the earliest, so today's brush with death came as quite a surprise. I really needed to get some rest before the deletion game tomorrow. I would have been so happy if this day had never arrived, but I knew that it was just wishful thinking on my part. I woke with the start of the sound of Dai's announcement as it piped in over the ship's intercom.
Good morning, competitors! What a wonderful morning! It's already shaping up to be a great day, don't you think? This is just a friendly reminder that in a mere 8 hours, the next round of the deletion game will begin. I hope you all have your clues ready. Dai over and out.
Wide awake, I rolled onto my back and looked at the ceiling. It was a surreal feeling, knowing that today might be my last day. I was no closer to finding Dai's deactivation code, and to be honest, I didn't even know where to look. Alright, let's take another crack at this pocket watch. I recovered the pocket watch from my bedside table and headed to the lab. I have to find the lab empty. Guess it makes sense that Vladimir would want to spend time with Melody before tonight. The tablet's locked. Didn't know where they had that function. Looked at the tablet closely. Needs a password. I wonder what my father would have used as a password. Maybe we're sentimental. I try my name. The table made an error sound. Of course it wasn't me. He forgot to feed me after all. What about his birthday? The table made another error sound. What could it possibly be? I appeared in the lab with me.
Good morning.
Oh, hey, I.
My system has registered multiple attempts to access your father's tablet.
Yeah, that's me. Sorry.
Would you like his password?
Are you allowed to give it to me?
Yes. The moment a crew member passes away, their tablets become the property of the Everett. It is therefore well within regulations for me to give you access to your father's tablet.
Wonderful. What is the password?
Password.
Yeah, what is it?
Your father's password is password.
Seriously? That's the best you can come up with? Why would you even bother having one, Dad? Sheesh.
I did warn him that his password strength wasn't strong enough, but it appeared strong enough to keep you out.
Are you making fun of me, eh? A mischievous expression crept across I's face.
Yes, am I being successful?
The response was dripping with sarcasm. Yeah, you're a real riot, I. Now let's get this damn thing open. Put in the password and the tablet immediately sprang to life. Wonderful. Maybe there's something in here about this pocket watch.
There most certainly is.
How do you know?
Now that the tablet has connected to the network, I have access to all information on that tablet.
Oh, you can save me some time then. Would you mind pulling up any files related to the pocket watch?
I will transfer all relevant files onto your tablet. One moment, please.
Huh, Hugh Everett was an American psychist who was the first to propose the many worlds interpretation in quantum physics. The Everett launched in December of 2117 in the provision of Captain Ayumi Yukimori with 16 personnel and one AI system. There were 11037 on board. The mission motto was Ad Astra per Aspera, translating to through hardships to the stars. It was a reflection on both the state of Earth as well as the disaster that was the Tagback expedition. The starting crew consisted of Commander Ayumi and Sakura Yukimori, Charles Henry, Joseph Westwood, Lorenzo Brown, and Sora Carmen. Hamtaro and Suzuki Himura, Agnes Helga and Andreas Günther Vogel, Shino and Hasaki Sasaki, Shino Ikari, Vladimir and Amanda Stanislavski, Deborah and Patrick. Und natürlich keinen Nachnamen geben. Mission Goal. The Everett was launched with a mission to reach and terraform Gliese 832C. This is... Yeah, habitable planet. The Everett and previously Tagmark is a combined effort by particular governments and private industry led by Musk Industries. Wirklich. The mission is to find and terraform a new home for the human race. The ship launched with a skeleton crew of 16 members plus one AI system. It chose to keep the crew at the bare minimum was made after the disaster of the previous mission involving the Tagmark. The crew is expected to procreate by natural artificial means, pass the skill set onto their children and so forth. Each department is expected to have at least 2 children in order to protect the skill base's lineage in case of an accident. Generationally, the mission is expected to take between 8 to 10 generations. Oh boy. Due to constraints in travel, the technology to travel at the speed of light has still not been realized. Currently limited to travel at 1/24th speed of light. The mission is expected to take almost 300 years. Ach du Scheiße. Wir haben bei Generation 2 schon Probleme. The Tagmar set out on the same mission as the Everett, almost 10 years before the Everett did. Unfortunately, only a few years into the mission, the Tech-Mark collided with an asteroid and was destroyed on impact. Tax. Ja, das haben wir uns ja durchgeguckt. Die sind durch Asteroiden gestorben. Hier waren dann die ganzen Personal Files. Deletion Games, Videos. Okay, es gibt wohl nur 4? So.
Transfer is complete.
I opened my tablet and confirmed that she already isolated and transferred the files to my tablet. Thank you so much, A. You're a lifesaver. Would have been here all day trying to locate those files without your help.
My pleasure. If you would excuse me, I am being requested in the engineering bay.
I was almost too involved with the tablet to say a proper goodbye to I. This information, there was so much on this watch. Parents had definitely been busy. Many worlds theory. The location of the human race. Hypothesis for the transfer of matter between parallel universe. Sweet science. Instead of traveling for multiple generations and taking a chance on successfully terraforming an alien planet, my parents are trying to relocate the entire human race into a different reality. And looks like they may have gotten close. Pocket Watch is supposed to be a part of this puzzle. I read more of the notes, pages and pages of notes. Alright, I think I understand. This Pocket Watch is a device that should allow this reality to connect with another in order to allow transfer of matter between realities. But how? Gradually the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. I began reading aloud selections of notes. In theory, this timepiece should function like a time machine. In order to work, however, a stable time machine must already exist in both time frames. So it should be able to connect our version of reality to another if this device exists there too. But how do we connect these devices across the divide of time and space? I must spend hours going through my parents' notes. They never once mentioned how to connect to another reality, only that the watch was required. Ah, I thought we were getting somewhere. Why isn't there more information? Suddenly the intercom rang out.
Greetings, competitors! I must request that you all make your way to the dining hall so we can begin this round of the deletion game. It'll be starting in 5 minutes, so don't be late!
Although the situation was grave, I really didn't have time for these games right now. After putting away the tablet, I made my way to the dining hall. By the time I arrived, everyone had already assembled outside.
It's about time, Slowpoke.
So, also ich habe noch keine Ahnung. Ich würde einfach sagen, wenn ich allen nicht meine Informationen gebe, dann gehen sie einfach zu mir und sagen, fick dich, dass du uns nicht hilfst. Bring dich einfach jetzt schon um.
Well, this is interesting. You'll each have 1 miss. The door will be opening.
So, das kennt mir schon alles. So, meine Theorie ist jetzt, wenn wir auf Nummer 2 schießen, Melody, dass wir dann zu einem Teil kommen.
Please exit the room and await this round's results.
Left the room and watched as one after another, everyone else went in to shoot their missiles.
In an unexpected turn of events, it would appear that everyone has chosen to attack in the first 15 minutes, which brings this round to an end. Who'd have thought that you were all so eager to kill each other? Well, who am I to argue? Give the people what they want, right? Let's get straight to the results.
Warte, was? Was? Spiel? Ich dachte, wir kriegen einen Teil zusammen. Uffi.
Better me than Melody, I guess.
So. Wir haben also 2 Runden geschafft, die Eltern von Melody zu vernichten. Good job.
Papa, what is it?
Sweetie, Papa has to go and join Mommy for a while, okay?
Melody's face fell as she realized what was happening. Tears began to form in the corners of her eyes.
No, Papa, stay.
Captain, I'm going to entrust Melody to your care, okay?
Of course. I'll do my best to keep her safe.
No, Papa, I'm scared. Please don't go.
Melody's desperation was palpable. She implored her father not to go. Vladimir picked up Melody, doing his best to comfort her under the circumstances.
Don't go. Please. I'll be better.
Sweetie, you haven't done anything wrong.
I promise I'll eat my vegetables. I won't fight anymore. I'll pick up my toys. I promise, Papa. I promise.
Melody.
Please don't go with Mommy. Stay with me instead.
Oh, how touching. Sorry to disappoint, kiddo, but your daddy has a date with the wheel!
With that, Dai summoned the dreaded well and gave it a spin. Eventually, the arrow slowed and came to rest on drinking.
Congratulations!
Vladimir, and might I say I did this one just for you. Today you shall face death by drinking.
Is this a joke, Dai?
What? No.
Ach, Spiel. You're going to spend your last moments enjoying your favorite beverage, vodka.
I can think of worse ways to go.
See, Captain, I do so much for you guys. Even when I go through all the trouble of adding fun new ways to die, all you do is complain. This is why you'll never get a boyfriend.
I stuck a tongue out at the captain.
Well, let's head over to the kitchen together.
I marched us all to the kitchen. Melody tearfully clung to Vladimir the entire way there.
Here we are.
Alright, sweetie. It's time to go to the captain.
Melody screamed and refused to let go.
Melody, please. Kimiko will take care of you, okay? Everything will be fine.
Vladimir peeled Melody off of him and handed her over to the captain.
Alright, Dai. How do you want me to do this?
Such a gentleman. Well, good sir, I need you to get your blood alcohol concentration up to about 0.45. Now, would you be a dear and go get the vodka from the pantry so we can get started?
0,45 ist doch gar nichts. Oder haben Amis oder irgendwas Australien ein anderes System? Ich glaube nicht. Vladimir walked over and grabbed 1.5 liter bottle of vodka from the pantry.
Excellent! So, taking into account your weight and sex...
I rubbed her chin pensively for a moment before replying.
You need to drink about 1 liter within an hour period to reach a lethal BAC of 0.45. There are 1.5 liters in there, so 1 bottle should be more than enough.
1 Liter Wodka für einen Russen? Das ist doch gar nichts.
An hour seems a bit too long, though. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't you just down the bottle all at once?
Challenge accepted.
Denk an deine Tochter mal.
Wow, really? Man, this is fun.
Also wenn es Leute geben würde, halt noch ein paar mehr, dann könnte es bestimmt so ein paar Fanarts geben, wo Vladimir die Flaschen chuckt und alle stehen daneben und feuern an. Vladimir hefted the bottle and paused and examined it. His eyes took a distant, wistful expression as he absent-minded traced the contours of the bottle.
I remember when Sora and I used to drink together. Australians and their alcohol. She taught me this drinking song that Australians like to sing before slugging back their drinks. I'll see you shortly, dear. This is for you.
Vladimir lifted his bottle of vodka and salute. He cleared his throat.
Here's to Vladimir. He's true blue. He's a peacepot through and through. He's a legend, so they say. Should have gone to heaven, but he went the other way. Singing down, 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 down.
With those words, Vladimir began chugging the entire bottle of vodka. Managed to finish in just a minute or two.
What a time to be alive! That was amazing, Vladimir.
I applauded him enthusiastically.
Now we get to sit back and enjoy the show. Don't be shy, he isn't dead yet. Please go about your day as normal in this room under my supervision. Come to think of it, I guess that would be pretty difficult, huh? Silly me.
Beatrix made her way to the pantry and pulled out a second, smaller bottle.
What's that?
Vodka, what do you think it is?
Why do you need vodka?
It's rude to let a man drink alone.
Ach stimmt, wir könnten ja alle für ihn anstoßen.
Beatrix, you were always one of my favorites.
Beatrix took a seat at the center island opposite of Vladimir.
Would you like another drink?
One more won't hurt now, will it?
I guess not.
Beatrix poured herself a drink along with another for Vladimir. It wasn't long before the alcohol started taking effect. The rest of us could do little more than stand around the kitchen, unable to leave and powerless to prevent Vladimir's death.
Melody, sweetie, listen to Kimiko, okay?
Vladimir had stopped crying and was now more confused than anything else.
Okay, Papa.
You really suck. You know that?
Don't say things you can't take back.
I pretended to be offended by Vladimir's insults.
I don't want to take it back.
Yeah, Dai, you suck.
Aber sie hat einen Sprite dafür, oder was? Dai raised an eyebrow in Beatrix's direction.
You haven't been handed a death sentence just yet, Beatrix, but don't tempt me.
Beatrix looked at Dai before bursting into laughter.
Don't look so serious, Dai. You'll give yourself wrinkles.
Your shelf?
Really? That would be horrible.
I started fussing with her face, trying to brand the onset of wrinkles. 20 minutes later, and an extra few bottles of wine, which Beatrix and Vladimir explained was for good measures, Vladimir took his last breath. Oh boy.
Well, that sure got boring towards the end, didn't it? I guess I can't have fun all the time, right? Either way, everyone is free to leave. Class dismissed.
Well, it was fun, comrade.
Beatrix tipped her glass at Vladimir before falling off her chair stone drunk.
Alright, Beatrix. It's time I got you into bed.
Nicholas hoisted Beatrix off the floor and began to carry her out of the kitchen. Before I could proceed very far, however, Beatrix began poking his face with her extended forefinger.
Why are you always so serious, Nikki?
Because one of us needs to be. Say goodnight, Beatrix.
Good night.
Nicholas carried Beatrix out of her kitchen while the captain tried to explain to Melody the gravity of the situation.
Melody, your father's gone to sleep, but he won't be waking up.
What?
He's gone to go see your mother now, so you should say goodnight to him and come with me.
Although Melody looked confused, she acquiesced to the captain's request, too tired and emotionally worn out to argue with her. Melody walked up to her father's body, currently slumped against the kitchen island, and wrapped her tiny arms around him in a hug.
Good night, Papa.
Good night, Vladimir.
Das klang nicht gerade richtig.
Yoshiki, could you give me a hand? You can move him into the medical bay for the time being.
Yeah, of course.
You, Shizuka, you two should head off and get some rest.
Can do.
Left to Shizuka and we made our way back to our respective rooms. I crawled into bed and closed my eyes. I swore I could still hear Vladimir singing. Chapter 2. So, das war's dann. Das ist alles für heute mal. Haben gut Progress gemacht. Ein paar neue CGIs, Achievements. Sind oft gestorben, haben gemerkt, dass wir hier nicht weiterkommen. Und dann bin ich mal heute gespannt, wie es hier weitergehen wird beim nächsten Mal. Ja. So. Nochmal zur Sicherheit. Und dann war's das für heute. Und gute Nacht. Bye bye.